suspect in a shocking stabbing that sent shockwaves through Yaletown is expected to appear in court today. The attack saw 7 victims targeted.
I don't know what to say, man. This is the third time this thing happened.
We are scared. Yeah.
Surrey residents speak out as a cafe is targeted with gunfire yet again in what police believe is connected to extortion. And how the Blue Jays dominated in Game 4 of the ALCS with Game 5 tonight. Well, good morning, everyone. It's Friday, October 17th. Welcome to Your Morning Vancouver. I'm Carrie Adams. The woman accused in a string of random stabbings and assaults along the Vancouver seawall and in Yaletown is back in court today. Her case is fueling community concern and renewed calls for stronger safety measures in some of the city's busiest public spaces. CTV's Reagan Hasegawa is live outside the courthouse on Main Street for us this morning. Good morning, Reagan. So tell us what's happening there this morning.
Good morning, Carrie. 35-year-old Tamara Hamlin remains in custody and is expected to appear here at Vancouver Provincial Court at 9:30 this morning for a bail hearing. It follows a series of unprovoked attacks that's left the community feeling unsafe and shaken. Police say 7 people were hurt after they were stabbed or assaulted last Friday morning along the Vancouver seawall and in Yaletown. Attacks they describe as random and unprovoked, but linked to the same person. Hamlin was arrested over the long weekend and has been charged with 1 count of assault. She made her first court appearance earlier this week when she was ordered to remain in custody pending today's hearing. Vancouver police continue to investigate additional reports and say more charges could follow. Residents tell CTV News they're now avoiding parts of the seawall, calling for more patrols and lighting, saying they've never felt this uneasy about walking downtown. And today's hearing will determine whether the 35-year-old remains in police custody or is released on strict conditions. Carrie?
Okay, we'll be following that. Reagan Hasegawa joining us. Thanks, Reagan. Well, police continue to investigate this morning after a Surrey cafe owned by a popular Bollywood celebrity was once again sprayed with bullets. This is now the 3rd time since August that the restaurant has been shot at. So that was a video of the latest shooting at Cap's Cafe, which surfaced on social media yesterday. The gunman pulls up next to the restaurant, right next to the police camera, which was installed because of prior attacks, and fires a few shots. At this time, Surrey police believe this was an extortion attempt. This is just the latest violent attack in the city, which locals say needs to be addressed immediately.
I don't know what to say, man. This is the third time this thing happened.
We are scared. Yeah, we are scared.
It's getting to the point where, you know, maybe Canadians have got to start arming themselves.
And tools to deal with those.
The community is hoping something will deter this violence as the shootings have only intensified in recent weeks. The BC General Employees Union strike is now in its 7th week with nearly 25,000 members behind picket lines across the province, and both sides are still far apart. The union says it remains ready to return to the bargaining table as soon as the province presents a fair offer. Finance Minister Brenda Bailey says her government's current offer is at 5%, while the union's is at 12%. Bailey says she is committed to getting back to the table, but did not specify when that would be.
We also need to make sure that we live within the economic context that we find ourselves with a large deficit that we have to reduce over time, and knowing that we're being impacted by reductions in revenue because of the huge challenges we're facing because of the trade environment.
BCGEU continues to uphold all essential service requirements while BC liquor stores remain closed.
Today, every government licensed professional in the province of British Columbia will be on strike.
Another union is banding together with the BCGEU to put more pressure on the provincial government to end the long strike. The PEA, which represents workers like government engineers, geoscientists, veterinarians, and pharmacists. They also are without a contract, and now 1,600 professionals have also walked off the job. The Vancouver Canucks are back to their winning ways.
Sasson cutting in. Max Sasson scores! 3 in a row for the Canucks.
Well, that was Max Sasson's first goal of the year, which got the party started. The Canucks would score 5 in all for a final score of 5-3. They wouldn't have much rest, though. They are back on the ice tonight in Chicago to take on the Blackhawks. Puck drop is at 5:30. Meanwhile, PWHL Vancouver has announced its training camp roster. 32 players have been invited to training camp on November 10th to compete for a chance to make the final 23-person roster. The roster features 6 players from BC, including 2025 draft picks Shan Reed Bassey and Nina Jobsmith. PWHL Vancouver will play its inaugural game on November 21st at Pacific Coliseum against fellow expansion team PWHL Seattle. Well, it's officially a series. The Toronto Blue Jays have clawed back in the American League Championship Series with a crucial 8-2 victory over the Seattle Mariners in Game 4. And a big part of the win was a gem from a right-handed veteran.
Scherzer's 1-2 pitch. Curve strikes him out. Max Scherzer defying Father Time.
Max Scherzer allowed just 2 runs over 5 2/3 innings. The 41-year-old was electric and intense. At one point, Scherzer could be seen yelling at manager John Schneider, who had come out for a mound visit. Speaking afterwards, Schneider wasn't bothered by the exchange.
Yeah, it was awesome. I thought he was going to kill me. It was great. You know, he locked eyes with me, you know, both colors as I walked out, and it's not fake. That's the thing. It's not fake. You know, he has this Mad Max persona, but he backed it up tonight.
Yeah, the Jays can take the series lead with a win in Game 5 tonight. And it looks like some Canucks have made the trip across the border for the series. A vendor in Seattle's famed Pike Place Market says local businesses are benefiting from the influx of Canadian baseball fans. First pitch is at 3 this afternoon. So now with Game 5, I bet there will even be a few more fans that make that trip down to Seattle to cheer on the Blue Jays. Max Scherzer, 41. Way to go.
So exciting. I was at my friend's birthday and it was a viewing party and there was so many people from Ontario. The vibe was so high. It was so exciting.
Good to see you have your Lions jersey on today, Steph. Good morning.
I do. Wild Wild West game tonight. CTV Weather is brought to you by the BC Lions Wild Wild West game tonight at 7:30. Celebrate country culture in true Western style as the Lions take on the Elks. Tickets at bclions.com. Going to be a fun game tonight. Lots going on in the sports world. Shaking off some showers this morning. We saw those through the overnight last night, so we still have a little bit of a risk this morning of seeing a few passing showers, but we are clearing. Right now, the winds are calm here in Metro Vancouver. I'm going to show you the wind story. We're sitting at 10 degrees right now, heading to a high of 13. There's the sunshine for this afternoon, so that's exciting. We've got a sunny afternoon for our Friday before this storm arrives on Saturday. It is going to pack a lot of moisture, between 30 to 40 millimeters of rainfall expected. Downpours taking us into Sunday, so pretty much the weekend is a washout starting tomorrow. So enjoy today. Winds are picking up out of the northwest. It's going to be very gusty by the water by this afternoon, up to 60 kilometers per hour. So the winds are the big story. Sunrise at 7:25 a.m. and the trend today is that we're clearing to some blue skies before the storm arrives tomorrow. Carrie.
Okay, we'll keep an eye out. Thanks for that, Stephanie. Well, an Ontario family is coming forward with their sky-high frustration.
You should know that children are on the plane, and you should make sure that they are safe, full stop.
What Air Canada is saying after separating a toddler from her parents. We'll have that still to come. But first...
The condominium market is absolutely dead right now. I can't paint that in a good picture.
Why thousands of condos in Metro Vancouver are sitting empty despite the housing crisis. That's coming up next. Welcome back. At a time when housing is desperately needed, thousands of condos are sitting empty, unsold. This as another developer has hit the brakes on a major development, saying nothing will be built unless governments take action. CTV's Shannon Patterson now on what the industry is calling for.
Construction is well underway at Juno, a 341-unit condominium high-rise in North Surrey by Streetside Developments.
We launched sales last spring and we hit pre-sales 4 months in, 60% pre-sales.
Juno was one of the last big projects in Metro Vancouver to hit that pre-sale target before the bottom fell out of the new condo market.
The condominium market is absolutely dead right now. I can't paint that in a good picture, and it's not just me, it's everybody.
I think it's pretty much at a standstill. I think that getting enough sales to hit your construction financing targets is near impossible in these conditions.
With buyers on the sidelines, Streetside has shelved plans to build another 1,000-unit development in Surrey.
When we look at the affordability and the launchability of the project, can we launch at the price points that we need to demonstrate to the bank are reasonable for us to go ahead? And at the moment, we're not there.
I think every developer that has the ability to put things on hold is putting them on hold.
And that's not good news for governments that argue the only way to bring down housing costs is to build more.
The City of Surrey, like others, is trying to meet their targets. Mayor Locke has said, I've got this many permits sitting ready for pickup, but the environment around us does not suit those developers, ourselves and others, picking up those permits and going ahead.
Builders say governments can jumpstart new home construction by reducing the fees and taxes developers have to pay.
City fees and taxes are about 20 to 25% of the cost of new housing in this province.
The way I look at it is if the car industry, which employs 1/10 of the construction sector across the country, says we're in trouble, they get bailouts of billions of dollars. It's time for a housing bailout. I'm not trying to offend any level of government. I'm just saying that to me is a solution.
Meads knows the public may recoil at the thought of bailing out developers.
I think people think developers are just, they drive Bentleys and live in West Van. I don't do either. But bottom line is we are required by the bank to demonstrate profitability for financing.
And right now, launching a new condo development simply isn't profitable. So it's not happening.
If we come back to that core element of trying to build homes and make them affordable, if we don't make some of these changes, don't address these gaps, don't address these costs, we will see less homes being built rather than more, and therein lies the problem.
Shannon Patterson, CTV News, Surrey.
Well, a unique pilot program has become a game changer for foster families who find themselves caring for young children in emergency situations with very little notice. As CTV's Michelle Bernoro explains, the new program from Baby Go Round needs the public's help to succeed.
So, what are we looking for today?
I need 12 to 18 months.
Shelf upon shelf of baby and toddler items available on loan to Fraser Valley foster parents like Joanne.
Recently, there was a situation where we had kids come into our home that literally had the clothes on their backs, and the next day my husband was able to be here picking out full wardrobes for them.
Baby Go Round has long offered baby products to new parents struggling to make ends meet, but recently expanded its work to help foster parents as part of a partnership with the Fraser Valley Foster Care Association.
Sometimes foster families get less than 24 hours notice that a baby or a toddler is coming into their care. And then they're often left scrambling to quickly try and find these expensive items like cribs, strollers, warm clothes. We have created somewhat of a gear library, which will allow us to pull items for a foster family who has been given, short notice.
Joanne says the new program is a game changer.
When we're dealing with the stress of what they need, it can take away from the emotional needs of when they're arriving in our home. And so having that, my capacity freed up in having to find those items so that I can be sitting with them, comforting them.
Items are returned when no longer needed, but the program needs help to keep up with demand.
The biggest threat to this new pilot program is simply just a lack of gear to meet the needs.
Baby Go Round is looking for donations of gently used items a family would require for a child under 2.
We are chronically low on strollers, cribs, bassinets.
The program helps take a little stress off foster parents like Joanne as they care for kids.
It absolutely is a hard job, but the kids make it worth it. The connections that we've formed, the love that we share with these kids, to see the milestones.
Michelle Bernoro, CTV News, Surrey.
Well, the Edmonton Elks are helping high school players stay sharp during the Alberta teachers' strike.
We really just didn't want to see them sitting around for two weeks or so and then having to go back and jump back into games immediately.
The team is holding a training camp for players free of charge. 140 players are taking part, getting a chance to learn from the pros. The camp is scheduled to run until the end of the month. Well, what is Canada doing to stop the flow of deadly methamphetamine into other countries? You might be surprised to know how big of a player Canada is when it comes to this drug. As part of a W5 investigation, we'll learn how, in at least one case, this drug was disguised as Canadian beer and it turned deadly. We'll be joined by Avery Haynes in our next half hour. But first,
you should know that children are on the plane, and you should make sure that they are safe, full stop.
we hear from a furious family wanting accountability after Air Canada seated their toddler by herself. That's coming up next.
Your morning just got a whole lot richer. We're giving away a staggering $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. A dream vacation, home renovations, paying off bills. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is Friday. Head to the contest page on ctvvancouver.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter Friday with your information for your chance to win CTV Your Morning Vancouver's $20,000 giveaway. Good luck.
Word Friday. Good thing it's not Monday, because a code word Friday on a Monday would be cruel. Well, the family of Oscar winner Diane Keaton has confirmed her cause of death. In a statement to People magazine, Keaton's family says she died from pneumonia. They also say they're grateful for the outpouring of love and support they've received on behalf of their beloved Diane. The family recommends any donation in her honor be made to a local food bank or animal shelter. Keaton passed away over the weekend at the age of 79. Well, imagine getting roasted by the Pope. Leo is probably the world's most famous Chicago White Sox fan, so when someone called out, "Go Cubs," during a recent public appearance, he wasted no time in reminding the fan the Cubs got knocked out of the playoffs. So if you were wondering, yes, the Pope is still following baseball. Just making sure I was up to date on the status.
Yeah,
there you go.
You know what? I think it's just great. He's embracing his authenticity and
yeah, he's still a sports fan. Just because you're Pope doesn't mean like you leave all your, previous loves at the door.
Exactly, exactly. I love that. Good morning, everyone. Carrie, loving that it's Friday, right? We're so happy around here. We have some nice weather coming in this afternoon. We're shaking off a few showers, especially around the mountains, North Shore, Maple Ridge. Still seeing a few spotty showers by this afternoon, though. We're looking at some blue sky and sunshine. Another very fall-like day. Average right now for this time of the year, 12 degrees. We'll be sitting at 13. The winds are the big story. We're going to be seeing gusty winds by the water this afternoon. Record in 1974 at 18 degrees. So we have a big storm moving in for our weekend. So be prepared for that. Rake those leaves today while we have a little bit of sunshine, because this system is going to pack up to 40 millimeters of rainfall on Saturday alone. And then those showers are going to stick around on Sunday. So this is a significant low pressure system bringing some heavy rain, especially on Saturday and through Sunday. So get ready for that. This rain tracker is showing this only takes us to Sunday morning, but as you can see, there are varying totals, and we could be seeing especially a lot more around the North Shore Mountains. 13 degrees for Campbell River and Comox. A few showers expected. That risk is there for Port Hardy. Otherwise, clearing skies. 15 degrees. Port Alberni, 14 degrees, so a little bit warmer there. Squamish, 14. We are still expecting some showers in Whistler today. Sunshine Coast, a little bit more overcast with those showers. Temperatures just above seasonal today, and that sunshine is going to be around. It's going to be very windy, though, especially tomorrow. Wet and windy. Get ready for this storm. Over to you.
Okay. An indoor day. Thank you. Well, a Canadian family has been calling for accountability after their 18-month-old baby was assigned a seat all on her own on board an Air Canada Rouge flight, rows away from her mother and father. CTV's Adrian Gobriel has that story.
From a sun-kissed Florida vacation to a return flight to Toronto clouded with uncertainty, the McLaughlin family's journey home began with a 5-hour flight delay. Then the family of 4 learned their 18-month-old daughter, Margaret, who they call Molly for short, had been placed on standby.
I said, how could she be on standby?
Eventually given a ticket, the McLaughlins then realized their toddler had been assigned to a seat all by herself, more than 6 rows away from her closest parent. Greg McLaughlin claims Air Canada flight attendants then refused to ask customers to switch seats, leaving the family to figure it out with passengers on their own.
you are a very large company that operates airplanes. You should know that children are on the plane, and you should make sure that they are safe, full stop.
Regulations state that children under 5 should be in a seat adjacent to their parent.
Hello, Greg. This is Amanda from the Canadian Transportation Agency.
Following a months-long investigation by the Canadian Transportation Agency, the CTA left this voicemail for the family last week.
We want to inform you that the investigation has now concluded and no enforcement action will be taken at this time.
I don't know why the Canadian taxpayer is paying for that agency. I'm not sure who they're protecting.
The maximum fine Air Canada could have received is $25,000. Consumer advocates believe the lack of action highlights a systemic issue.
The Canadian Transportation Agency and the government are serving the airline's private, financial, corporate interests instead of the public interest of passengers.
In an email, the CTA say their investigation found that the infant was seated with her family for flight AC 1659 and that no infraction to the regulations was found. According to her father, the only reason Molly ended up seated with her family was because her parents and passengers fixed the issue, while Air Canada staff refused to help. An email from Air Canada in part states that the airline has since taken measures to reinforce compliance through improved seat assignment technology. Air Canada eventually offered the family vouchers for future travel. The McLaughlins have declined.
Interesting. What do you think of that situation?
I think, well, I travel a lot with my kids. Some of them always travel Air Canada on their own. I have never had that problem. They always make an arrangement to have them sit close to me. So I feel like that might have slipped through the cracks or something. I mean, usually people help as well in any kind of a situation where you're not sitting with your person.
Well, it sounds like people did, move around to make it happen. First of all, she was under 2, and I know that when you fly, you can have your child who's under 2 sit on your lap, so you don't have to pay for a seat. They obviously opted to pay for a seat for their child. I wonder if now, because airlines are getting people to pre-purchase their seats and pay extra depending on where they are, I wonder if they had difficulty moving people around if people had prepaid for their seats, because then you might have to compensate them.
Yeah, they always rearrange if you just go up to the desk before you get on the plane.
Yeah, I mean, something definitely slipped through the cracks.
Something went wrong.
You don't want a toddler by itself on the plane. Oh my gosh. Well, it's been nearly impossible to get through to the Canada Revenue Agency, but apparently it is getting better. What the agency now says its success rate of answering calls is, after the finance minister told it to shape up. Also.
Good morning. The woman charged in a series of stabbings and assaults along the seawall and in Yaletown is expected to appear in court today. Why police say she could face more charges coming up on Your Morning Vancouver.
Thanks for joining us. We begin in Washington. U.S. President Donald Trump is set to host Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky for talks at the White House today. But Trump is already signaling he's not ready to sell Kyiv a long-range missile system, as Ukrainians say they desperately need it. Trump recently has shown an openness to selling the long-range Tomahawk cruise missiles to Ukraine, even as Russian President Vladimir Putin warned that such a move would further strain U.S.-Russia relations. But after a recent phone call between Trump and Putin, Trump now seems to be downplaying the prospect.
I did actually say, would you mind if I gave a couple of thousand Tomahawks to your opposition? I did say that to him. I said it just that way. He didn't like the idea. He really didn't like the idea. No, I said it that way. You have to be a little bit lighthearted sometimes, but no, he doesn't want Tomahawk is a vicious weapon. And
today will mark the 4th face-to-face meeting for Trump and Zelensky this year. Trump is also planning to hold a face-to-face meeting with Vladimir Putin in Hungary to discuss ways to end the war. Meanwhile, a former close ally of Donald Trump has been formally indicted. The FBI raided John Bolton's home in August as part of an investigation into the handling of classified documents. Bolton is now facing 18 charges. If found guilty, he could face up to 10 years in prison per charge. Bolton was Trump's national security advisor, but turned into a Trump critic after he was fired from the White House in 2019. The woman accused in a series of violent random stabbings and assaults in downtown Vancouver is back before a judge today. Her court appearance comes as residents say they're still on edge and calling for urgent safety changes along the city's seawall and through Yaletown. Reagan Hasegawa is live outside the Vancouver Provincial Court on Main Street for us. So Reagan, tell us more about the suspect and what they've been charged with.
Good morning, Carrie. 35-year-old Tamara Hamlin is set to appear here at Vancouver Provincial Court at 9:30 this morning for a bail hearing. She's accused of a string of unprovoked attacks that left several people injured and left a community shaking one of Vancouver's busiest neighborhoods. Investigators say 7 people were hurt when they were either stabbed or assaulted last Friday morning in Yaletown along the seawall. Attacks they describe as random, unprovoked, and connected to the same suspect. Hamlin was arrested over the long weekend and has been charged with 1 count of assault. Her first appearance earlier this week ended with the judge ordering her to remain in custody. Vancouver police say additional charges are possible as the investigation continues. People living nearby tell CTV News they're avoiding the seawall, urging the city to step up lighting and police patrols to help restore the sense of safety in the community. Today's hearing will determine whether Hamlin remains in custody or is released on bail with strict conditions. Carrie?
All right, Reagan Hasegawa joining us this morning. Thanks, Reagan. Well, a 2-day meeting of justice and public safety ministers at the provincial and federal levels is set to wrap up today. Discussions at the meeting have ranged from bail reform to the role of victims in the criminal justice system. Federal Justice Minister Sean Fraser says this was an opportunity for every province and territory to be represented in wide-ranging discussions. In September, the Liberals introduced a bill targeting hate crimes, and Fraser will be introducing a bill next week imposing tougher bail and sentencing for violent crimes. Turning to Alaska now, hundreds of people have been airlifted out of flood-ravaged small villages after a storm hit coastal areas last week. More than 1,000 people have had to leave their homes. Most are being sent to Alaska's capital, Anchorage. This is all due to flooding in low-lying communities created by the remnants of a typhoon. 2 villages have been destroyed, and officials are warning it will be a long road to recovery. Legendary Kiss guitarist Ace Frehley has died at the age of 74. The original lead guitarist and co-founder of the rock group was injured in a fall last month in his studio. Frehley wrote a series of songs for Kiss and played on 9 studio albums. Family members said in a statement they are completely devastated and heartbroken, but will cherish his laughter and celebrate the kindness he bestowed upon others. Well, the federal government is set to outline plans to strengthen border security today. Prime Minister Mark Carney is scheduled to tour a border crossing facility in the Niagara region of Ontario later this morning. After that, the public safety minister will hold a news conference. The new bill includes measures that would expand the Coast Guard's role, tighten the immigration and refugee system, improve information sharing on sex offenders, and introduce stronger controls on chemicals used to make illicit drugs. Well, delays at the Canada Revenue Agency call centres appears to be improving. Senior officials from the CRA say they have surpassed the target for answering more calls from Canadians. This comes after the federal finance minister gave them a 100-day deadline last month to fix the delays. The CRA was hoping to answer at least 70% of calls by mid-October, but surpassed that mark by the start of the month. The agency said with 77% of incoming calls answered between September 29th and October 3rd. Believe it or not, the CRA reported only answering 35% of calls between June 30th and July 4th. Well, Netflix says, thanks to popular demand, its most streamed movie ever is returning to theaters.
The world will know you as pop stars. But you will be much more than that.
K-pop Demon Hunters became a surprise summer hit on streaming and on the music charts, and in an in-person sing-along event gave it a #1 at the weekend box office. Netflix says it's bringing back the animated musical fantasy film for another sing-along event over the Halloween weekend. The movie will play in several countries, including here in Canada. Tickets go on sale today. So if this is your jam, and it sounds like it's very popular, Stephanie, like people are going to be getting on that right away, I would think.
Yeah, I did go to the Taylor Swift one a while back, and I do find that they're really fun for the kids, and you can go the whole family, and everybody kind of gets towards the stage, and you're having a dance party. So
yeah, those sing-alongs are pretty fun. The last one I went to was probably about 25 years ago. It was Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Okay.
That was fun. That was different.
That one's always fun. They need to bring that one back for our generation, right? CTV Weather is brought to you by the BC Lions Wild Wild West game tonight at 7:30. Celebrate country culture in true Western styles. The Lions take on the Elks. Tickets at bclions.com. Good news, it is going to be a nice one as you're heading into the Lions game. We're going to be seeing some sunshine this afternoon. A little bit shaky this morning, shaking off a few showers that came through the overnight last night. We are above freezing this morning. This is the first time all week. We're sitting at 12 degrees right now in Kelowna, 1 in Cranbrook, 3 in Prince George. Temperatures much warmer than they have been. We're already in the double digits in Vancouver at 10 degrees. We're heading to a high of 13. We just saw some sunshine there, but now I'm just going to show you here this storm, this low pressure system that's moving in tomorrow. It will pack some heavy moisture, intense amounts of rain actually taking us all the way in through the weekend. So get ready for a wet and windy one tomorrow. Those winds are picking up this afternoon out of the northwest. You can see by the Tsawwassen Ferry. If you're doing any traveling today, it is already quite gusty. So still holding on to some sunshine for the southern interior. We could see some thunderstorms around Cranbrook as well as around Prince Rupert by this afternoon. Otherwise, your day's not looking too bad. We're clearing out, but it's those winds. It'll be quite windy this afternoon and your 5 days coming up. Over to you.
Okay, sounds good. Well, yesterday was National Bosses Day. Did you celebrate? Just kidding. And so is Stephen Colbert. He'll discuss National Bosses Day in your Late Laugh coming up. Also later, from costumes to decorations, a scary amount of plastic ends up in the trash at this time of year. Still to come, we'll tell you about some easy swaps to celebrate Halloween more sustainably. We're back in a moment.
Hey there, Lindsay Hamilton in the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. We are taking a trip to Montreal for this one. It is the Canadiens and Predators. Montreal down 1. Net empty in the final minute. Jonathan Marchessault takes a shot, but Lane Hutson denies him. Then immediately fires the perfect pass up to Cole Caulfield. Beats UC Soros to tie it. Caulfield also scoring the OT winner for a second straight game, might I add. The heroics from Hutson and Caulfield earning them the must-see moment. Meanwhile, tonight on TSN, Week 20 in the CFL kicks off with a doubleheader. You got the Rough Riders against the Blue Bombers, and then the Lions hosting the Elks. Coverage begins 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. That's all for now from the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a fantastic Friday.
Discover Surrey with a chance to choose from a collection of Surrey signature experiences for you and 3 friends. Choose 4 of 8 locally led and thoughtfully designed adventures and explore, taste, and connect with one of Canada's most diverse cities. Enter online at ctvvancouver.ca or scan the QR code on your screen to enter for a chance to win. Good luck.
Meth from Canada is being smuggled into New Zealand and Australia in suitcases, in maple syrup, beer, and even plastic animals. Staggering scene.
CTV National News' investigative unit, W5, returns next week with an explosive 1-hour special. Avery Haynes investigates Cartel Canada. This blockbuster investigation exposes how Canada has become the #1 exporter of a deadly drug into New Zealand and Australia, from cartels in Canada to biker gangs in the South Pacific. Avery Haynes joins us now this morning. Good morning, Avery. Good to see you.
Good morning, Carrie.
So we have heard U.S. President Donald Trump's claims that Canada is flooding the United States with fentanyl, but most Canadians would be shocked to know that we are a major exporter of methamphetamine to the Pacific.
I'll tell you, I was shocked when I first started investigating this. We're going through the numbers when we're looking at seizures in New Zealand, and I had to keep checking them because it just didn't seem possible? How could it be? As you mentioned, there's been so much discussion about Canada, whether we're a major exporter of fentanyl to the States, and the short answer on that is we're not. But we are a major producer and exporter of methamphetamine to the Pacific region, particularly New Zealand, but also Australia, Samoa, Fiji. All those areas are in the midst of a meth crisis, and Canada is in large part supplying that meth.
It includes a young man in Auckland who died from accidentally ingesting Canadian meth, liquid meth. It shockingly was disguised as Canadian beer. Tell us about that.
Yeah, and this is where our investigation really began, with this very tragic story of this 21-year-old who came home from work one day. His boss had given him a couple of cases of what he thought was a craft beer, a craft Canadian beer. They were really excited to try for the first time a Canadian beer. He took one gulp, and he ended up dying 5 days later of multiple organ failure. And he wasn't drinking beer, he was drinking liquid meth. And as police began investigating by raiding a storage unit on the outskirts of Auckland, where they found just these towering cases of what was called honey bear beer. And Carrie, we have the video that the police shot when they went into that storage unit, and your jaw is just on the ground looking at it, because it's not just beer. It's kombucha that had been smuggled in from the United States, coconut water that had been smuggled in from India, and then just buckets of meth. They were converting it from liquid into crystals and then getting it ready to put out onto the streets of New Zealand. And our investigation really involved reverse engineering that shipment. Who was it in Canada that bought 29,000 aluminum cans, filled the bulk of them with beer, and then filled about 1,500, 2,000 cans with liquid meth, put it on a train from Toronto to St. John, then got it to Newark, New Jersey by ship? We followed the tracking areas to figure out exactly how it got there, and then investigated the people in this country that were responsible.
Okay, so more on that then. Who is behind these meth exports from this country, and what's being done to stop the meth from leaving?
You'll have to watch tomorrow night at 7 o'clock to find out about that. But I will tell you, with our interview with the RCMP, we don't often get to sit down with the chief superintendent of organized crime with the RCMP. We expected that we would get some answers on what was being done in Canada from a policing standpoint. 2 of the largest meth busts in New Zealand's history came from Canada. One smuggled in beer, one smuggled in maple syrup. And our questions to the RCMP, I'll just tell you that the answers were unsatisfactory, and that our investigation appears to have gone further than the RCMP investigation.
Wow, just fascinating investigation, and I think it's quite shocking for a lot of Canadians to learn that that kind of drug, a deadly one, is coming from this country and being exported. Avery Haynes, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Look forward to your investigation.
Thank you, Carrie.
Yeah, Avery Haynes Investigates. Cartel Canada airs on Saturday, October 18th at 7 p.m. right here on CTV. Well, it is 6:47. 5 years after the start of the pandemic, doctors in Canada are still experiencing high levels of burnout. From AI to training new physicians, we'll look at what's being done to lessen their workload. That's coming up in our next half hour. But first,
a shot of tequila, beer on tap, a good-looking woman.
On this day in 1958, Grammy-winning country music singer Alan Jackson was born in Newnan, Georgia. He's 67 today. Milestones are next. A time now for your milestones. First up this morning, happy birthday to Lester. We love you and hope you have the best day. Love from Angie and Nikki.
Happy 17th birthday to Maddie. Love from Mom, Dad, and Raiden.
Happy birthday to Dulce. Love from Marissa, Melly, Teresa, Juvie, and Yali.
Happy retirement to Axel. Oh, lucky. You're off the clock. Love from Jasmine, Billy, and George.
Those hands full. Happy 13th birthday to Adele. We love you. Love from Mom, Dad, Afolabi, and Auntie Bimbo.
Happy 6th birthday to Bria. We love you more than the whole world. Love from your family.
Happy 7th birthday to Sophia. Have a wonderful day. Love from Nana and Nanny.
Happy 9th birthday to Jagger. Have a super awesome day. Love from Bella and your gremlins.
He's going to get into that car. Happy 33rd birthday to Agnes Tom in Tofino. We love you. Have a great day. Love from Remy and Ruby, plus Drake and Madonna. So send us your milestones to bcmilestones@ctv.ca.
It's Friday. We love this. It's Friday, and guess what? It is starting off a little shaky, so we're shaking off a few morning showers around certain spots, especially around our local mountains. And then we are going to be seeing more sunshine through the afternoon. A dry afternoon, which is great for the BC Lions game if you are heading to that game, the Wild Wild West game tonight. And then we are going to be seeing a big system push in. So I'll tell you all about that. Right now it's 10 degrees. We do still have that risk. Winds are going to be picking up here shortly, late morning into the afternoon hours. This system will pack a lot of moisture. It arrives tomorrow for your Saturday. It's going to linger in through the whole weekend. So get ready for all the rain gear. Prepare your outdoor areas because, yes, it is going to be a weather maker with up to 40 millimeters of rainfall expected. So this takes us just into Sunday morning. It is going to pack a lot, especially out towards the Fraser Valley. It's looking like those numbers and the North Shore will be higher than right in Metro Vancouver. 13 degrees, a few showers expected still for Port Hardy today. That risk is there. Otherwise, clearing skies. Starting off quite overcast this morning. By this afternoon, it'll be partly cloudy, mostly sunny in some spots. Squamish, 14 degrees, overcast with some showers today for Whistler, as well as for the Sunshine Coast, expecting those clouds to linger and that risk of showers as well. So out towards the Fraser Valley, 14 degrees. Still a chance of a few showers right around Coquitlam, North Shore. And then by this afternoon, it is looking good. We do have one sunny spot I'll tell you about. So Monday looks pretty good, mix of sun and cloud before another system moves in Monday night. So we are into a stretch of rain here for the next several days. Yesterday was National Bosses Day. Here's Stephen Colbert with your Late Laugh.
I join you tonight in a celebratory mood because, as you know, today is National Bosses Day. I hope you all treated your boss to their favorite gift, 2 minutes of awkward chit-chat until the elevator arrives. Remember to say your kids' names so they don't have to. And I want to take a moment to celebrate my new boss, Paramount CEO David Ellison. Mr. Ellison, I love you. That ought to buy us a couple more months. There you go. Speaking of bosses. Speaking of bosses, there's a guy who thinks he's all of ours. Last night, Trump hosted a dinner to thank all the companies that have dished out cash for his big, frilly Cinderella White House ballroom, including representatives from Meta, Amazon, Comcast, Google, and Apple. What? Every tech company gave Trump money? Well, fine. I don't need those companies. I'll do my internet searches the old-fashioned way with a landline. Turkey chili recipe. I think they fax it later. I don't know what it is.
Do you remember?
Not the
I don't know if you do. Do you remember when you could call up to get the time?
No.
Call to get what time?
The time. You didn't have a smartphone to look at the time. If you didn't have a clock around, you could go to a phone and call. I can't remember the number. And you'd get the time. Like you have a recorded.
What? Don't remember that one.
It's 6:55. Yes,
I still have a landline, so how do I do this?
I don't know if they use that service anymore because I think it's obsolete now.
I do remember when we first moved to Canada, I'd have to go through the phone book to find places for my mom. Yeah. Like that big yellow phone book.
Oh yeah, the yellow pages. Let your fingers do the walk.
Yeah. I love doing it though.
Remember if there was a boy you liked or someone you liked and you wanted to find their number, you had to go through the phone book and find the name
my God.
and then call them and talk to their parents. Well, a lot of cats get stuck up in trees, but this one got trapped in a really tight spot. And rescue crews had to get creative to get it out. We'll show you the remote rescue on wheels. Still to come.
I don't know what to say, man. This is the third time.
An investigation's underway after a Surrey cafe linked to a Bollywood celebrity was shot at for the third time this year. And the woman charged in a series of stabbings and assaults in Yaletown is expected to appear in court today, while police say she could face more charges. Your top stories are next. A violent attack that saw several people stabbed in Yaletown is under the spotlight. The suspect expected to appear before a judge today.
He is, of course, fearful that whoever ordered this will want to finish the job or attack him again.
A Pitt Meadows man is brutally attacked outside his home. What his lawyer has to say about this shocking violence. And shooting down the Stars, how the Canucks staged an impressive comeback in the Lone Star State. That's coming up. Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, October 17th. Welcome to Your Morning Vancouver. Well, police continue to investigate this morning after a Surrey cafe owned by a popular Bollywood celebrity was once again sprayed with bullets. This is now the third time since August the restaurant's been shot at. That's video of the latest shooting at Cap's Cafe, which surfaced on social media yesterday. The gunman pulled out next to the restaurant, right next to the police camera, which was installed because of prior attacks, and fires a few shots. At this time, Surrey police believe this was an extortion attempt. This is just the latest violent attack in the city, which locals say needs to be addressed immediately.
I don't know what to say, man. This is the third time this thing happened here.
We are scared. Yeah, we are scared.
It's getting to the point where, you know, maybe Canadians have got to start arming themselves.
And tools to deal with those kind of crimes.
The community is hoping something will deter this violence, as the shootings have only intensified in recent weeks. Well, the woman accused in a string of random stabbings and assaults along the Vancouver seawall and in Yaletown is back in court today. Her case is fueling community concern and renewed calls for stronger safety measures in some of the city's busiest public spaces. CTV's Reagan Hasegawa is live outside the courthouse on Main Street this morning. Good morning, Reagan. What can you tell us?
Good morning, Carrie. 35-year-old Tamara Hamlin remains in custody and is expected to appear in court here at 9:30 this morning for a bail hearing. It comes after a series of unprovoked attacks that has left the community feeling unsafe and shaken. Vancouver police say 7 people were assaulted or stabbed last Friday morning along the Vancouver seawall and in Yaletown. Attacks they describe as random and unprovoked, but linked to the same suspect. Hamlin was arrested over the long weekend and has been charged with 1 count of assault. She made her first court appearance earlier this week when she was ordered to remain in custody pending today's hearing. Vancouver police continue to investigate additional reports and say more charges could follow. Residents tell CTV News they're now avoiding parts of the seawall, calling for more patrols and lighting, saying they've never felt this uneasy about walking downtown. Today's hearing will determine whether Hamlin needs to remain in custody or if she will be released on bail with strict conditions. Carrie?
Okay, Reagan Hasegawa joining us. Thanks, Reagan. A Metro Vancouver man has fled the country with his family after being brutally attacked in his driveway in broad daylight. As CTV's Kevin Chirac reports, his lawyer has released surveillance video of that attack, hoping to get some answers and justice. And a warning to you, you may find parts of this story disturbing.
The lawyer for Pitt Meadows resident John Ling releasing this video to CTV News. It appears to show Ling and his family returning to their home on the evening of September 26th. Moments later, Ling is viciously attacked by 2 masked men with bats. His wife tries to fight them off. A third man in black is seen crawling under Ling's car, his daughter running away in terror.
It does appear to be targeted.
Russell Robertson is Ling's lawyer. He says Ling and his family have left the country, his body covered in bruises.
He is, of course, fearful that whoever ordered this will, want to finish the job or attack him again.
Welcome to Canadian Aviation College.
Ling owns Canadian Aviation College, a Pitt Meadows-based flight school.
That flight school and his ownership of it has been the subject of some litigation that's been going on.
It's unclear if Ling's other legal battle has anything to do with this brutal attack. No charges have been laid. It was Robertson and Ling's choice to go public with this video, not the RCMP.
Sometimes shining a spotlight on this is better than keeping it bottled up.
Ridge Meadows RCMP did not respond to our request for comment before deadline. Kevin Chirac, CTV News.
Well, we're hearing from some families this morning who have lost loved ones to violent crime. This after the federal government announced plans to bring forward a bail reform bill next week. The changes will mean repeat offenders charged with specific crimes will have to prove why they should be released on bail. It's a reverse of the existing system in which prosecutors must prove why a defendant should be held in custody. The new bill comes after the families of some victims called for change.
Anything that helps strengthen bail reform, holding criminals, violent offenders accountable for their actions. We do have some disappointment in the length of time it's taking. It's a life lost, and we don't want any other families to have to go through what we've been through.
Any step forward is a good step. We've needed bail reform for a long time. Unfortunately, it's too late for my daughter and many others.
The legislation would also mean courts could impose consecutive sentences for violent and repeat offenders. Families in Vancouver's Kitsilano neighborhood now have access to a new nonprofit childcare center at their local school. This as Maple Childcare opened on the rooftop of Henry Hudson Elementary. The $12.7 million project was jointly funded by the City of Vancouver and the province, with space provided by the Vancouver School Board. The facility includes 65 spaces for children aged 0 to 5 as part of the city's commitment to expand affordable childcare across Vancouver. The Vancouver Canucks are back with their winning ways.
Sasson cutting in. Max Sasson scores! 3 in a row for the Canucks.
That was Max Sasson's first goal of the year, which got the party started. The Canucks would score 5 goals in all for a final score of 5-3. They won't have much rest, though. They are back on the ice tonight in Chicago. Puck drop is at 5:30. And the Toronto Blue Jays have clawed back in the American League Championship Series with a crucial 8-2 victory over the Seattle Mariners in game number 4. And a big part of the win was a gem from a right-handed veteran.
Scherzer's 1-2 pitch. Curve strikes him out. Max Scherzer defying father time.
Yeah, Max Scherzer allowed just 2 runs over 5 2/3 innings. The 41-year-old was electric and intense. At one point, Scherzer could be seen yelling at manager John Schneider, who had come out for a mound visit. Speaking afterwards, Schneider wasn't bothered by the exchange.
Yeah, it was awesome. I thought he was going to kill me. It was great. You know, he locked eyes with me, you know, both colors as I walked out. And it's not fake. That's the thing. It's not fake. You know, he has this Mad Max persona, but he backed it up tonight.
Yeah, the Jays can take the series lead with a win in Game 5 tonight. And it looks like some Canucks have made the trip across the border for the series. A vendor in Seattle's famed Pike Place Market says local businesses are benefiting from the influx of Canadian baseball fans. First pitch is at 3 this afternoon. Well, some resourceful rescuers had to get creative in their attempts to retrieve a kitten stuck in a storm drain. When they realized they couldn't fit into it, they had to use a remote-controlled car to help get the job done. They sent the toy down the drain, there it goes, guiding the kitten straight into the waiting arms of a rescuer on the other end. An ingenious plan that worked out perfectly. Oh, look at him out of the storm drain. That is kind of interesting. I mean, there's the chance that the kitten could have been scared of that remote controlled, but obviously it was interested in it, you know, went right out the exit.
We see so many of these rescues, and I mean, they just keep getting more creative to get free and save the animals. So it's amazing. That's a great end to the story there. Yeah, thinking outside the box. CTV Weather is brought to you by Chambers Plan, Canada's #1 plan for employee benefits. It's more than just health and dental. Learn more at chamberplan.ca. So a few scattered showers last night. Nothing too soggy. That is coming our way, though, into your Saturday. Right now, temperatures are a lot warmer than they have been for this week as far as this time of the morning. 5 degrees right now in Cranbrook, 12 in Kelowna, 2 in Prince George. We're double digits in Vancouver and 9 in Prince Rupert. Where we're going today, a high of 13 degrees, so just a sliver above seasonal, and we broke a record in 1974. Sunset tonight at 6:18 p.m. It is getting darker quickly out there. We are looking at a sunny afternoon, though. Brighter skies ahead. We'll see those clouds clearing this afternoon to mostly sunny skies. There's all that rain that's coming our way. Up to 40 millimeters of rainfall is expected. Winds are going to get very gusty, and I'm just going to show you here your day ahead. A reminder that it is going to be a clearing skies. I've got your full 5-day, and there is quite a bit of rain in your forecast. Over to you.
Oh, just in time for the weekend. Thanks for that, Stephanie. Well, it's a spooky time of year, but the real Halloween horror story may be the amount of plastic that ends up in the trash. Yeah, there's a lot. From costumes to candy, decorations, we'll have some easy swaps to celebrate the holiday more sustainably. We'll have that still to come. But first, from AI to training new physicians, we'll look at what's being done to help doctors suffering from burnout. That conversation's coming up next. Well, new data from the Canadian Medical Association is shedding light on the plight of medical professionals in Canada. It reveals that many physicians are still facing high levels of burnout and pressure, and it comes 5 years after the onset of the COVID pandemic. So what needs to change? Joining us to discuss is Doctors of BC President, Dr. Charlene Louie. Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning.
So these numbers show that about 46% of physicians reported high levels of burnout. That's a really high number. That's nearly half of doctors. It is down slightly from a previous survey, but what does that tell us about the state of the system and doctors right now?
Yeah, doctors are really challenged because of so many things that make being a doctor difficult. Most of all is the number of physicians in our province. Unfortunately, we just don't have enough physicians to take care of the patients that we have, and so it means doctors have to work harder and longer to make sure that their patients are taken care of, and that causes a lot of distress. They don't have time for their families, but also just being able to provide the care that they want to provide is hard.
Yeah, let's talk more about some of the things that might contribute to that burnout. Is it, working longer hours and just feeling like they don't have the support?
Yeah, working longer hours because they don't have physicians to help take the load, and also there is a shortage of resources to help take care of the patients as well. So there's a lot of moral distress as well around, can I get the patient the care that they need at the time that they need it?
We hear a lot about AI, and I'm wondering if that is something, as we hear more about AI being brought into the field of medicine, is that something that could help doctors manage some of the tasks that take up a lot of time and would potentially help alleviate the stress that's involved?
I think AI is a really neat technology, and it is being incorporated to a certain degree in medicine. Like, a lot of physicians now use AI Scribe, which helps with the note-taking and the documentation. We do have to be a bit careful about using AI because there are issues with privacy, and we need to make sure that it's not, taking notes or giving information to other third parties that we don't want to. So we're pretty careful.
And, obviously the doctor shortage in BC is a big contributor to burnout. This new medical school at SFU, it's now taking applications. That's an exciting I guess, introduction and a change in medicine. Do you think that that will help deal with the doctor shortage? And when do you think that we might see an impact from that school?
Well, the new SFU Medical School, I think, is a great thing. It's a great first step to increasing the number of doctors we train here in BC. Their cohort is small, although I know they're going to ramp up, but it's only going to make the tiniest little dent in the number of physicians we need. We still have a lot of work to do around recruitment and retention of physicians, and we really need to make sure that the workplace in BC is a popular and attractive place for them to work, because if we train them and then they leave BC, that's not going to help us.
Okay, so we're almost out of time here, but I want to ask you, what other things could be done? What other action could be taken to help alleviate the stress and stop the burnout of doctors?
The main thing is that we really do need more physicians, and we need to keep them here in BC. So we do need the government to make investment into British Columbia and healthcare system so that BC is an attractive place for them to work and live.
And that's something that they say that they are working on. Dr. Charlene Louie, President of Doctors BC, thank you so much for joining us for this conversation.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming in. Well, if you are thinking about bringing in a four-legged family member into your home, it's a good time because it is Adopt a Shelter Dog Month. But before you take the leap, there are some things to consider. In our next half hour, we'll be joined in studio by the cutest little dogs you've ever seen and some advice on what you need to know before adopting. That is still to come. But first, from costumes to decorations, a scary amount of plastic ends up in the trash at this time of year. We'll tell you about some easy swaps to celebrate Halloween more sustainably.
Of Bright Nights joins Noelle Surrey for the ultimate Christmas celebration from November 28th to December 28th. Explore incredible light displays, rides, meet and greets with holiday characters, music, and more. Enter for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets plus food and beverage vouchers. Visit ctvvancouver.ca or scan the QR code on your screen to enter, and good luck. Good morning, it's 7:22. Welcome back to Your Morning Vancouver. It's Friday, and we've had a beautiful week, lots of sunshine, so we can't really complain about the system that's moving in, the storm system that's going to bring heavy rain for us through the weekend. So we'll enjoy some sunshine later today. There's a little sneak peek. There's the sunshine, clearing skies. Clouds are moving out, shaking off a few more early morning showers, but it is going to be a full washout this weekend. So get ready. Saturday is going to be a soaker. Heavy downpours expected, up to 40 millimeters of rainfall, taking us into Sunday even, and then it'll be more of an on-off rain situation by Sunday. Today's highs, we're looking at clearing skies for Campbell River and Comox, potential for a few showers this morning in Port Hardy, but we'll see some sunshine there as well. Mostly overcast to start in Nanaimo and to a more cloudy day for those areas, and then Squamish, Whistler staying mostly overcast, expecting more showers for Whistler today as well as for the Sunshine Coast. So those areas are expecting to stay more cloudy with that rain, and then we're going to shake that off. Abbotsford 14 degrees, 13 by the water. Big story, the winds out of the northwest today are going to be picking up. It's going to be very gusty by the water for a little while today, and then we will see the sunshine again on Monday before another system arrives in through the evening, Monday into Tuesday. Look at this photo. This was taken at Departure Bay. This was sunrise. Garth sent that in. Thank you for that. If you'd like to send us your photo, email scenicsnapshot@ctv.ca. Carrie?
Incredible colors.
Amazing.
Thanks for that, Stephanie. Well, Halloween is almost here, but even more haunting is the amount of plastic that finds itself in the trash come November 1st. With a look at how to celebrate Halloween sustainably, here's ABC's Ginger Z.
From coast to coast, families are planning their costumes and decorating their homes for Halloween. And while most of the frights are part of the fun, there is a terrifying reality for our planet. A scary amount of plastic is dumped in the trash.
We don't have specific numbers because no one really keeps track of plastic use per holiday, but it does seem like for many people, we're very cautious throughout the year to try to avoid our use of plastics. And then holidays come along and it's really hard.
to adopt practices that reduce plastic, but not impossible as long as you plan ahead.
To reduce your plastic use this Halloween, President of Beyond Plastics, Judith Inc., says to focus on 3 major plastic-producing categories: costumes, decorations, and candy. For costumes, instead of buying new, try shopping at thrift stores or swapping past year's costumes with a friend or family member. That's earth and wallet friendly. And instead of using decorations once and then throwing them out, store them. You reuse them for as many years as possible.
I have decorations for Halloween that are probably over 20 years old. A pumpkin is a pumpkin. A witch is a witch.
Or just get crafty and carve jack-o'-lanterns.
Carved pumpkins are a timeless way to have a nice Halloween decoration, and the pumpkins are biodegradable.
But that's only if you leave them out for the deer or compost them. And instead of the single-wrapped Halloween candy that will haunt our Earth for hundreds or even thousands of years, Inc. suggests opting for treats that come in cardboard boxes. With this Climate Minute, I'm Ginger Z.
Yeah, there's a lot of garbage that we're talking about. The costumes, I have bins of it. I save them. I don't throw them out.
I call mine tickle trunks.
Yes, tickle
right?
trunks.
I never throw out my costumes, and everybody knows. So just come on over and borrow away. I love dressing up.
Yeah, you want to play dress up? Go to Steph's.
I'll be there. That is spooky for sure to think about. Those plastic I mean, those chocolate and candies are
all those wrappers
tasting so good, but then it kind of I feel guilty now.
You're throwing them out, not just because eating them, but because all the plastic.
Exactly.
I've made like a pumpkin soup out of my jack-o'-lantern. Like you roast the pumpkin.
Oh,
and then,
yeah.
I mean, it's okay. It's not butternut squash, but it's, you know, at least you're not just getting rid of the pumpkin or
we'll do
putting it into the bin.
We're doing a thrifting costume interview next week, so people can tune in and watch.
All right. Oh, good idea. Yeah. All right. Well, it has been nearly impossible to get through to the Canada Revenue Agency, but apparently it's getting better. What the agency now says its success rate of answering calls is after the finance minister told it to shape up. Also, a major airlift evacuation is underway in Alaska. The damage after a number of remote communities were hit by a massive storm.
Good morning. The woman charged in a series of stabbings and assaults along the seawall and in Yaletown is expected to appear in court today. Why police say she could face more charges coming up on Your Morning Vancouver.
Thanks for joining us. We begin in Washington. U.S. President Donald Trump is set to host Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky for talks at the White House today. But Trump is already signaling he's not ready to sell Kyiv a long-range missile system the Ukrainians say they desperately need. Trump recently had shown an openness to selling the long-range Tomahawk cruise missiles to Ukraine, even as Russian President Vladimir Putin warned that such a move would further strain U.S.-Russia relations. But after a recent phone call between Trump and Putin, Trump now seems to be downplaying the prospect.
I did actually say, would you mind if I gave a couple of thousand Tomahawks to your opposition? I did say that to him. I said it just that way. He didn't like the idea. He really didn't like the idea. No, I said it that way. You have to be a little bit lighthearted sometimes, but no, he doesn't want Tomahawk is a vicious weapon. And
today will mark the fourth face-to-face meeting for Trump and Zelensky this year. Trump is also planning to hold a face-to-face meeting with Vladimir Putin in Hungary to discuss ways to end the war. A former close ally of Donald Trump is in a federal courthouse this morning. John Bolton is facing charges accusing him of storing and sharing classified information. Bolton made no comment to reporters as he entered the courthouse this morning. According to the 18-count indictment, Bolton allegedly stored top-secret records at home and shared notes that contained classified information with relatives. It also suggests classified information was exposed when operatives believed to be linked to Iran hacked Bolton's Bolton's email account in 2021. Bolton has been an outspoken critic of Donald Trump after being fired in 2019. This is the third criminal case against a Trump adversary in the past month. The woman accused in a series of violent random stabbings and assaults in downtown Vancouver is back before a judge today. Her court appearance comes as residents say they are still on edge and calling for urgent safety changes along the city seawall and through Yaletown. Reagan Hasegawa is live outside Vancouver Provincial Court on Main Street for us. So Reagan, tell us more about the suspect and what they've been charged with.
Good morning, Carrie. 35-year-old Tamara Hamlin is due in court at 9:30 this morning for a bail hearing. She's accused of a string of unprovoked attacks that police say left several people injured and left one of Vancouver's busiest neighborhoods rattled. Investigators say 7 people were assaulted or stabbed early last Friday morning in Yaletown and along the seawall. Attacks they describe as random, unprovoked, and connected to the same suspect. Hamlin was arrested over the long weekend and has been charged with 1 count of assault. Her first appearance earlier this week ended with a judge ordering her to remain in custody. Vancouver police say additional charges are possible as the investigation continues. People living nearby tell CTV News they're avoiding the seawall, urging the city to step up lighting and police patrols to help restore a sense of safety in the community. Today's hearing will determine whether Hamlin has to remain in police custody or if she will be released on bail with strict conditions. Carrie?
All right, Reagan Hasegawa joining us this morning. Thanks, Reagan. Well, a 2-day meeting of justice and public safety ministers at the provincial and federal levels is set to wrap up today. Discussions at the meeting have ranged from bail reform to the role of victims in the criminal justice system. Federal Justice Minister Sean Fraser said this was an opportunity for every province and territory to be represented in wide-ranging discussions. In September, the Liberals introduced a bill targeting hate crimes, and Fraser will be introducing a bill next week imposing tougher bail and sentencing for violent crimes. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is making some bold claims. Poilievre discussed what he calls an RCMP cover-up of Justin Trudeau's scandals on the political YouTube channel Northern Perspective.
Many of the scandals of the Trudeau era should have been involved jail time. I mean, Trudeau broke the criminal code when he took a free vacation from someone with whom he had government business. It's just like it's right there in the criminal code. If the RCMP had been doing its job and not covering up for him, then he would have been criminally charged.
Poilievre added that RCMP leadership is, quote, despicable when it comes to enforcing laws against the Liberal government. The RCMP commissioner pushed back on the claims, saying the matter was thoroughly reviewed under the previous government, and he found that no political interference was involved. The federal government is set to outline plans to strengthen border security today. Prime Minister Mark Carney is scheduled to tour a border crossing facility in the Niagara region of Ontario later this morning. After that, the public safety minister will hold a news conference. The new bill includes measures that would expand the Coast Guard's role, tighten the immigration and refugee system, improve information sharing on sex offenders, and introduce stronger controls and chemicals used to make illicit drugs. Well, delays at the Canada Revenue Agency call centre appear to be improving. Senior officials from the CRA say they have surpassed the target for answering more calls from Canadians. This comes after the federal finance minister gave them a 100-day deadline last month to fix the delays. The CRA was hoping to answer at least 70% of calls by mid-October, but surpassed that mark by the start of the month. The agency said with 77% of incoming calls answered between September 29th and October 3rd. Believe it or not, the CRA reported only answering 35% of calls between June 30th and July 4th. Well, turning now to Alaska, hundreds of people have been airlifted out of flood-ravaged small villages after a storm hit coastal areas last week. More than 1,000 people have had to leave their homes. Most are being sent to Alaska's capital, Anchorage. This is all due to flooding in low-lying communities created by the remnants of a typhoon. 2 villages have been destroyed, and officials are warning it will be a long road to recovery. Legendary Kiss guitarist Ace Frehley has died at the age of 74. original lead guitarist and co-founder of the rock group was injured in a fall last month in his studio. Frehley wrote a series of songs for Kiss and played on 9 studio albums. Family members said in a statement that they are completely devastated and heartbroken, but will cherish his laughter and celebrate the kindness he bestowed upon others. Well, pickleball is a fast-growing sport amongst many, but we're getting a new warning this morning about the injuries that can accompany the activity. NBC's Stephanie Gosk has more.
The cheerful sounds from the local pickleball court definitely do not make anyone think of it as an extreme sport. But a new study suggests the game, loved for its everyone have fun vibes, can actually cause serious eye injuries.
Reaction was a little too slow. It hit the top of my paddle and just ricocheted into my eye.
I'm a little worried about a possible detached retina.
The injuries have become so common, they're inspiring memes on TikTok. Pickleball in a helmet may be a joke, but getting hit by a ball at close range is no laughing matter. According to a new study, pickleball eye injuries can include retinal detachments and fractures, even vision loss. And serious incidents appear to be rising. In 2024, pickleball-related eye injuries resulted in more than 1,200 emergency room visits, the study's estimate shows, 3 times higher than just a few years ago. 70% of those, players 50 and over.
As we get older, your reaction speed, your coordination go down as well, and compounding those issues can make it that you're going to get hit more likely by the ball.
With the backing of celebrity investors and famous players, including tennis legend Andre Agassi, pickleball's popularity has been skyrocketing. New numbers show the sport has grown more than 223% in the past 3 years, with increased participation in every age group. Our own Today Show team has even taken a swing at it.
That was a good one.
The rise in injuries might just be due to more people playing, the study's authors say, but eye protection should be emphasized, like in racquetball or squash.
Sunglasses or sunglass type glasses might be enough if they're impact resistant, but they have to be impact resistant, and if not, you definitely want to wear goggles that are made specifically for racket sports.
Well, for the first time since the Reformation in the 16th century, a British monarch and the leader of the Catholic Church will pray together at a church service next week. King Charles and Queen Camilla will visit the Vatican during a 2-day trip on October 22nd and 23rd. It will be the first meeting between the King and the new U.S.-born Pope, Pope Leo. Well, back to BC now. One of the largest infrastructure projects in the region has reached a major milestone. It's a tunnel connecting New Westminster and Surrey 50 meters beneath the Fraser River, but it's not for vehicles. When operational, the Annacis Water Supply Tunnel will transport up to 600 million litres of clean drinking water per day to communities on the South Shore. The next step is to install the actual water pipe in the tunnel. The steel for that pipe is an inch thick, and project engineers say it will be able to withstand a 1 in 10,000-year mega-thrust earthquake. Well, Canada's passport has moved ahead of the U.S. in the list of most powerful in the world. Powerful is defined in terms of visa-free access to countries. Canada now ranks number 9 in the Henley Passport Index out of 183 countries. The U.S. fell out of the top 10 for the first time. It's now sitting at number 12. Singapore, South Korea, and Japan make up the top 3. It's a new look for Canada's Supreme Court. The court is marking its 150th anniversary with some new digs.
Because the brand was bold, was original, and was different, so they wanted to speak about a secret project.
Red and white is out, replaced with black robes embroidered with the court's crest and lined with red piping as a nod to our flag. The new robes were designed and created in Quebec. It took the shop about a year to create them. Well, as Halloween approaches, Uber's Nightlife Index is serving up some spooky stats on how Canadians party. Vancouver ranks 9th among the country's top 10 party cities. However, the most surprising stats cover what happens after the party. Late-night shopaholics are using Uber to order things like a silver caviar serving dish, poker chips, and a bonsai houseplant. On weekend mornings, the top hangover foods ordered in Canada are coffee, hash browns, and bagels. Well, have you ever Ever wondered how those famous wax figures are made? Actor Gillian Anderson is being immortalized by Madame Tussauds in London. But before any wax carving starts, artists are taking measurements to make sure the figure is as lifelike as possible. Anderson, who remembers visiting the museum growing up in London, was more than happy to help out. Her wax figure will make its debut later this year. Yeah, I wonder if they would have to, sort of like doing like a 3D image here, maybe they make a mold and they just pour a bunch of wax in it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That process looks like it's complicated, but I mean, the results are phenomenal.
Yeah, sometimes you get one that's like not quite, but you know, when it's good,
when they've nailed it, they've nailed it.
Yeah,
definitely.
When it's good, it's impressive.
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. CT Weather is brought to you by Chambers Plan, Canada's #1 plan for employee benefits. It's more than just health and dental. Learn more at chamberplan.ca. Some showers last night, but today's looking brighter. We'll see those clouds clear by this afternoon. Our temperatures are a lot warmer than they have been at this time of the morning. Already 12 degrees in Kelowna. We're in the double digits for Vancouver, 9 in Prince Rupert right now. So it is going to be a really nice day for the southern half of the province before the next storm system moves in on us. So this afternoon, enjoy that because the rest of the weekend is a complete washout. It's going to be very wet, very windy as well. We're going to see the winds pick up this afternoon. They're already quite windy and gusty out by the ferry terminal if you are doing any traveling by ferry right now. In Abbotsford, winds out of the south-southwest. So we're expecting these winds to gust by the water by early this afternoon to up to 60 kilometers per hour. Chances some showers in Kelowna, chances some thunderstorms around Cranbrook as well as around Prince Rupert later this afternoon. Otherwise, enjoy the sun. We're heading to a high of about 13 degrees, and then it is all about those winds. So enjoy the day, and I've got your 5-day coming right up with more on that rain. Over to you.
All right. Thanks, Stephanie. Well, it was a wedding that was so secret, it even caught the bride by surprise.
We all love you so much that we're giving you a surprise wedding.
Still to come, how the bride, who was also a school principal, felt about hundreds of kids at her wedding and the marriage advice the students had for the happy couple. That's still to come. But first, what you need to know before adopting a dog from a shelter and how long it takes to make them feel at home. That's coming up next.
Got a whole lot richer. We're giving away a staggering $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. A dream vacation, home renovations, paying off bills. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is Friday. Head to the contest page on ctvvancouver.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter Friday with your information for your chance to win CTV Your Morning Vancouver's $20,000 giveaway. Good luck.
Well, many needing medical care, some living in pain, and all of them looking for their forever homes. October is Adopt a Shelter Dog Month, and here with everything you need to know before adding a furry family member to your home is Mandy Isaacs, Assistant Branch Manager at the Vancouver SPCA. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
Well, thanks for having us.
I feel like every month should be Adopt a Shelter
Yeah, every
dog.
day.
Every day.
Adopt a Shelter Dog Day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you have a couple with us this morning that are looking for homes.
We do. We have a couple. This is Boba, and this is Nana, 2 little Chihuahuas that recently came into our care with 9 other Chihuahuas. So we have a number of Chihuahuas that are going to be available for adoption this weekend.
Wow, that's quite incredible. And what are the circumstances of why they all
An
together?
owner was overwhelmed with the needs of older dogs and too many dogs, and so they made the right choice and surrendered them into our care. And so we're going to be able to give them the medical treatment that they need and get them into their forever homes.
What kind of home are they looking for?
A lot of these ones are going to be looking for, you know, a quiet home, preferably adults only. A couple of them would be good with kids, but people with some experience with nervous dogs that just need some time and space to get used to being around people and good care.
So with it being Adopt a Shelter Dog Month, what is the process for adopting a pet? What do people need to know if they've been kind of on the fence and considering it?
Yeah. So here in the Lower Mainland, the dogs go pretty quick at our Vancouver Vancouver shelter because we have lots of people that come in. If you're ready to adopt and you've done your research and the time is right, the best thing to do is come into the shelter. We'll introduce you to the available dogs. We'll have a little bit of a conversation about what your family life is like and what your needs are. And then you fill out an application form, and if we think you're a good fit, then you can go home with a dog that day.
Yeah, not everyone can just adopt a dog immediately. You have to sort of go through a process.
You have to think about it for sure. You can also, you know, view all of our available dogs in the province online and see if there's any at other shelters that you might be interested in.
And a lot of people think that once they get their pet home, that their pet should just be right at home, that they go settle right in easily. That's a process too.
It is a process, and especially for dogs like these guys who are a little bit overwhelmed, as you can tell by Nana's panting a little bit. So we use the 3-3-3 rule for dogs when they get adopted. So for 3 days, they're going to be quite anxious and nervous and a little bit shut down sometimes. And then after 3 weeks, you're going to start to see, you know, the true personalities, and they're going to start to relax. And then it's not till about 3 months when you really start to see their true personalities. They relax, they feel safe. And that's not for every dog, but especially for dogs like these guys with a little bit of anxiety.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, so give them a little bit of time to settle in.
Yeah.
And we know that housing and feeding these animals before they're adopted, it's costly for the SPCA. You know, you have a number of fundraisers. You have the off-leash gala that's coming up in November. But how can people help if they want to assist the SPCA do their job?
I mean, if you can't help financially, you can always help by donations. So anytime you have any blankets or towels or anything at home that you're, you know, looking to recycle, you can bring them down to us. You can, you know, help with your time. You can volunteer or foster. Some of these guys are going to go into foster today just so they can start getting used to living in a home.
And I just want to say that I love this little crocheted blanket. So
Isn't it
someone
beautiful?
could crochet a blanket and help.
we had a group that donated an entire bag full of them, which is lovely. The cats love them too.
And as seen on TV now.
Yeah,
they've made it.
Right.
They've hit it big.
They did, yeah.
And so have you. This is Nana and Bo. They're looking for forever homes. So if you think you can help out, get in contact with the Vancouver SPCA. Mandy Isaacs, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Yeah, thank you for having us. We love it.
And happy Adopt a Shelter Dog Month.
Yes.
Right now, lose it. Just lose it. Go crazy.
Speaking of dogs, this dog is a big fan of Eminem, clearly. Your morning sidebar is just ahead.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Right now, lose it.
Welcome back to Your Morning Vancouver. It's 7:54 on Friday morning. Mostly cloudy out there, but we are shaking off those showers through the overnight, which is great news. We'll see some sunshine before some heavy rain moves in on us tomorrow. So get ready for a soggy weekend, Saturday, Sunday. Very windy for your Saturday as well. We'll even see our winds out of the northwest pick up this afternoon. So if you're by the water, get ready for a gusty one. Monday, we'll see some sunshine. We are quite seasonal as far as temperatures, and then another round of rain moves in Monday night.
You're ready for a rainy weekend.
It sure is going to be.
Feels like really fall now.
Kitten. Fall's coming in hot.
Yeah.
Or coming in
wet. Coming in wet.
Yeah.
Coming in wet.
Soggy.
We'll go with wet.
And it's time now for your soggy sidebar. Well, it's Friday, so let's kick things off with some canine karaoke.
Just lose it. Go crazy. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Right now, lose it.
That is so creative. De Niro, the Frenchie, loves, I think he hates the hairdryer, let's be honest, which gave his owner a hilarious idea. They lip-synced to Eminem.
I don't know, does he like it? Like,
He
does
definitely
like
hates it.
The feeling in his mouth? Why would he open his mouth if he didn't like it?
No, he's like barking at it.
He hates it.
He doesn't like that at all.
Is
For
he
De
barking?
Niro.
I don't know.
But I love the creative angle. It's very entertaining.
So good. Yeah, and I love his name, De Niro. Well, now to his dog, who has a special accessory for parties.
They put a balloon on our 16-year-old family dog so no one would trip on him at the party.
Aww. 16-year-old Marley is so little, his owners tied a helium balloon around him so that no one trips over him at parties. He's actually not that little. I feel like he might have something else going on.
But he's slow, and so maybe he can sidle up unexpectedly, and then, you know, you step backwards, or you might not see him in a crowd. So
I think Marley's just senile. Like, he's just
Well, at least everyone knows where he is.
The balloon works, hey.
Regardless of his age. Well, when it comes to water, do you like sparkling or still? Yeah, move over science. This is the kind of experiment we're here for. Millie went first. She liked the thick water used in hospital for those having a hard time swallowing. And then Milo went straight for sparkling.
I don't know. I think there's a spit out there. Did she like it? Oh, okay. Oh, the bowl's empty. Okay. Clearly a fan of sparkling.
God. And regular. She's just
thirsty.
All of it. She doesn't like thick.
If you like sparkling, I think it's hard to go back to still.
Oh, she went really back for sparkling. She needs to get one of those machines. Soda streams.
She's fancy. Maybe next time she'll have like a fancy glass or something.
I'm honestly happy for her. She clearly has a hefty bill at a restaurant though, because it's like every time she's like, sparkling, please. Anyways, that's all for your sidebar.
Thank you so much. Well, some special FIFA guests are making their very first appearance in Canada right here in our studios.
Good morning, Canada. Time to kick.
Yeah, the FIFA 2026 World Cup mascots will join us here. How the Moose, the Eagle, and the Jaguar are preparing for next year's big event. Also,
I don't know what to say, man. This is the third time.
An investigation's underway after a Surrey cafe linked to a Bollywood celebrity was shot at for the third time this year. Stay with us. The suspect in a shocking stabbing that sent shockwaves throughout Yaletown is expected to appear in court today. The attack saw 7 victims targeted.
I don't know what to say, man. This is the third time this thing happened.
We are scared. Yeah, we are scared.
Surrey residents speak out as a cafe is targeted with gunfire yet again in what police believe is connected to extortion.
Sasson cutting in. Max Sasson scores! 3 in a row for the Canucks.
And shooting down the Stars. How the Canucks staged an impressive comeback in the Lone Star State. Coming up. Good morning, everyone. It's Friday, October 17th. Welcome to Your Morning Vancouver. I'm Carrie Adams. The woman accused in a string of random stabbings and assaults along the Vancouver seawall and in Yaletown is back in court today. Her case is fueling community concern and renewed calls for stronger safety measures in some of the city's busiest public spaces. CTV's Reagan Hasegawa is live outside the courthouse on Main Street Forest this morning. Good morning, Reagan. So tell us what's happening there this morning.
Good morning, Carrie. 35-year-old Tamara Hamlin is expected to appear in court at 9:30 this morning for a bail hearing. She's accused in a series of random, unprovoked attacks that left several people injured and also left the community shaken and feeling unsafe. Police say 7 people were stabbed or assaulted last Friday morning along the Vancouver seawall and in Yaletown. Attacks they describe as random and unprovoked, but linked to the same suspect. Hamlin was arrested over the long weekend and has been charged with 1 count of assault. She made her first court appearance earlier this week when she was ordered to remain in custody pending today's hearing. Vancouver police continue to investigate additional reports and say more charges could follow. Residents tell CTV News they're now avoiding parts of the seawall altogether, calling for more patrols and lighting, saying they've never felt this uneasy about walking downtown. And today's hearing should determine whether Hamlin is released on bail or if she's released on bail under strict conditions or if she's required to remain in custody. Carrie?
Okay, Reagan Hasegawa joining us live this morning. Thanks, Reagan. Well, police continue to investigate this morning after a Surrey cafe owned by a popular Bollywood celebrity was once again sprayed with bullets. This is now the 3rd time since August the restaurant has been shot at. That was video of the latest shooting at Cap's Cafe, which surfaced on social media yesterday. It shows the gunman pulling up next to the restaurant, right next to the police camera, which was installed because of the prior attacks, and fires a few shots. At this time, Surrey police believe this was an extortion attempt. This is just the latest violent attack in the city, which locals say needs to be addressed immediately.
I don't know what to say, man. This is the third time this thing happened.
We are scared. Yeah, we are scared.
It's getting to the point where, maybe Canadians have got to start arming themselves.
The community is hoping something will deter this violence as the shootings have only intensified in recent weeks. A Metro Vancouver man has fled the country with his family after being brutally attacked in his driveway in broad daylight. As CTV's Kevin Chirac reports, his lawyer has released surveillance video of the attack, hoping to get some answers and justice. And a warning to you, some may find parts of this story disturbing.
The lawyer for Pitt Meadows resident John Ling releasing this video to CTV News. It appears to show Ling and his family returning to their home on the evening of September 26th. Moments later, Ling is viciously attacked by two masked men with bats. His wife tries to fight them off. A third man in black is seen crawling under Ling's car, his daughter running away in terror.
It does appear to be targeted.
Russell Robertson is Ling's lawyer. He says Ling and his family have left the country, his body covered in bruises.
He is, of course, fearful that whoever ordered this will, want to finish the job or attack him again.
Welcome to Canadian Aviation College.
Ling owns Canadian Aviation College, a Pitt Meadows-based flight school.
That flight school and his ownership of it has been the subject of some litigation that's been going on.
It's unclear if Ling's other legal battle has anything to do with this brutal attack. No charges have been laid. It was Robertson and Ling's choice to go public with this video, not the RCMP.
Sometimes shining a spotlight on this is better than keeping it bottled up.
Ridge Meadows RCMP did not respond to our request for comment before deadline. Kevin Chirac, CTV News.
Well, to Ottawa now. Today, we are expecting to hear new details on how the government plans to strengthen border security. Yesterday, the Prime Minister announced how his government plans to answer mounting calls to bring reforms to the country's bail system. For more on this, let's bring in CTV's Kamal Karmali. Good morning, Kamal. So we have our first look at what might be included in this legislation. What reaction are you hearing?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen and heard of those protests and rallies calling the current system a revolving door. And now many people have been pushing for this for years, getting what they want with this bill that will be introduced next week. So what this bill proposes in terms of when it comes to bail is that repeat offenders who have been charged with home invasions, violent car theft, assault, sexual assault, extortion, or human trafficking. Right now, the point is to release, and the Crown have to play defense. They must prove why someone should not be released on bail. What this bill would do is sort of reverse that. It would impose a reverse onus where the repeat offenders have to prove they deserve bail before it is awarded. So it kind of flips the script and reverses it while why it's being referred to as a reverse onus. The legislation would also allow courts to impose consecutive sentencing of violent and repeat offenders as well. So a couple of new points that would come out of this. The Conservatives came out in response saying they've been pushing for this for years, calling the current system once again a revolving door. And they said that they proposed the Jail Not Bail Act back in September, so that the Liberals should be pushing that forward instead, not the new bill that they have put forward here. Have a listen to what some BC politicians have to say in response. Many of them pleased to hear this announcement.
What I saw in the announcement today by Prime Minister Carney was a lot of the things that BC's was asking for to keep to strengthen our system and keep our communities safer. We're optimistic, but right now it's at a very high level. So what I'll be watching for is the contents of the bill.
People in a lot of communities fear that it's not working, and they fear for their safety on the streets. And so we have to look at things differently. And the reverse onus is one thing that is different, and hopefully it gets to the root cause of a lot of challenges that we have on the street.
Okay, so we're hearing a plethora of voices who are for this legislation. Who's against it, Carrie? We're hearing from the Canadian Civil Liberties Association saying they strongly oppose this bill and that there's no evidence bail causes crime. We've also heard from experts saying that it'll be primarily defense lawyers who oppose this legislation as well.
Hey, Kamler Kamali joining us this morning. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Well, the BC Lions are back in action tonight at home, but their opponent has some extra incentive on the line. The team is taking on the Edmonton Elks, who are last place in the Western Conference and need a win to keep playoff hopes alive. This is the Lions' second to last game of the season, and the team currently sits in second place in the West. Kickoff goes from BC Place at 7:30. The Vancouver Canucks are back to their winning ways.
Sasson cutting in. Max Sasson scores! 3 in a row for the Canucks.
That was Max Sasson's first goal of the year, which got the party started. The Canucks would score 5 goals in all for a final score of 5-3. They won't have much rest, though. They are back on the ice tonight in Chicago. Puck drop is at 5:30. Well, turning now to breaking news, there has been some movement on the BC GEU strike. Both sides are entering non-binding mediation. The announcement coming from the BC GEU just moments ago. It says veteran mediator Vince Reddy and Amanda Rogers will facilitate the process. BC GEU members have been on strike for 7 weeks with wages a major sticking point. The government's current offer is at 5%, while the union's is at 12%. That strike in its 7th week, Stephanie. So finally some movement here.
Positive good news there.
Yep.
CTV Weather is brought to you by Craftsman Collision, BC's leader in auto body repair. It is Friday. The weekend is upon us. Nice short week. Lots of sunshine this week, which was fantastic. Cooler mornings. Temperatures are a lot warmer than they have been. We're already in the double digits around North Vancouver, downtown, as well as Surrey and White Rock. So that's good news. We're going to be very seasonal today. We're clearing those clouds, and we'll be seeing some sunshine before a system moves in on us for the weekend. So the big story is going to be the winds picking up out of the northwest. So that is going to be quite gusty by the water if you're doing any traveling. It's looking very windy right now by the Tsawwassen Ferry Terminal. We're looking at a chance of showers there in Kelowna. We could see some thunderstorm activity around Cranbrook as well as Prince Rupert today. Otherwise, the BC piece is going to be enjoying some sunshine. We're going to see those clouds clear. Again, it's the wind, sunset at 6:18 p.m. and I've got your 5-day coming up, and there is a lot of rain on deck for the weekend. Carrie?
Ooh, okay. Thanks for the warning, Steph. Well, everyone was in on this surprise wedding except for the bride. Aw, how the bride, who was also a school principal, really felt about hundreds of kids at her wedding. We'll have that still to come. But first.
Good morning, Canada. Time to check.
The FIFA World Cup 2026 mascots will join us right here in studio for their first appearance together in Canada. How the Moose, the Eagle, and the Jaguar are preparing for the big event. Stick around. We're back after a short break. The FIFA World Cup 2026 mascots, Maple the Moose, Zayu the Jaguar, and Clutch the Eagle represent unity, diversity, and the shared passion for soccer across North America. And now for their first appearance together as a trio, they're joining us in studio this morning, along with Canadian soccer legend Bob Lenarduzzi. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you all. Thank you so much for being here. Wow, you look great. Are you happy to be here in the studios?
Thumbs up?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
So much excitement coming up with the World Cup. Welcome, all of you. Bob, good to see you.
Likewise.
Tell us about these mascots and how they represent the countries.
Well, they're each unique to their countries, but they are a collective. And the culture of the countries they come from, they all mold together. And what the idea is to try and, to the rest of the world, illustrate that they're coming to this part of the world, and these three here will be not playing the games, but they're going to be very, very visible, and as you said, represent the unity that comes with the sport of soccer. It's a global sport. Anyone that comes here will be following whatever country they come from or other countries, but it's going to be a massive, massive party, and these three are going to be a big part of it.
They're going to be very, very busy during the World Cup, and again, they're making appearances now. It's so exciting. So Maple the Moose obviously represents Canada, Zayu the Jaguar representing Mexico, and Clutch the Eagle representing our neighbors to the south, the United States. FIFA World Cup is a competition between nations. It's also a global moment where all these different cultures and identities collide and unite. So why is it important to have these three mascots that represent unity?
Well, with what the world's going through right now, I think it's a great statement to make, and you never want to have sport become of a political nature, and you really want the matches on the pitch to really harness the interest of people. And when you talk about the fan interaction, it's incredible. And the soccer or football supporters culture is something that's unique. No other sport has it, and even at our Whitecaps games, there's a section there, the supporters section, that is loud, rowdy, and behind their team. And,
absolutely. I understand that these mascots are going to be visiting a Whitecaps game. Tell us about that. That's exciting.
They'll be in the fan zone, the Whitecaps fan zone, at 4:30, and they'll also be meeting our mascot, Spike, and making the rounds with him as well. So that'll be
so exciting at the Whitecaps game. Yes, that is tomorrow, the 18th. That's the final match of the season.
Yeah, we're playing Dallas, and they actually are a host World Cup nation as well.
Absolutely incredible. Bob, you were part of the first Canada men's national team to play at the FIFA World Cup in Mexico in 1986, was it?
Yes.
So what does it mean to you to have all these three nations coming together, and what can fans expect from the World Cup?
Well, I did never think that Canada would be a host of an actual World Cup, and the fact that it's happened is something that we need to try to capitalize on it as a sport and as a country. The amount of people that will be coming here for the World Cup in 2026 is huge, and we want them to go away and feel like, wow, for all the right reasons, this was an event that captured their excitement, their enthusiasm, and they'll go away, and ideally they'll come back again. And that's a big part of getting people here, is having them come back as tourists eventually.
Amazing. And you three look great together, by the way. That's amazing. And have fun this weekend touring around Vancouver and going to the Whitecaps games. And thank you so much for joining us here in studio. Yes.
Thanks, guys.
They're going to have a busy weekend. And Bob, good to see you as always.
Likewise. Thank you.
All right. It is 8:19. The Toronto Blue Jays clawed their way back with a crucial win over the Mariners last night.
Fly ball to right. He's hit it well. It is gone.
We're going to go live to Seattle, where the two teams will face off for Game 5 tonight.
We all love you so much that we're giving you a surprise wedding.
A school principal is surprised to find out that hundreds of kids will be at her wedding. The marriage advice the students had for the happy couple. Coming up next. Stay with us.
Good morning. It's my time of the morning because I get someone to come in and take over my job. Let's welcome in this week's CTV Your Morning Weather Star, 11-year-old Maya Yahav from Kerrisdale Elementary. So great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about, first of all, what grade are you in?
I'm in grade 6.
Okay, and what's that like?
It's fun.
It's fun. What do you like to do for fun? Do you have a sport or a hobby that you love?
I really like playing hockey for the Vancouver Angels.
Vancouver Angels. I love that team name. What position do you play?
I play defense.
Okay. And when is your next game?
It's on Saturday.
Can we give a little shout out to the Angels?
Well, I'd like to say hi to my U13 C1 team and my U11 C1 team.
Go Angels. Awesome. How are you feeling about the Canucks season so far?
I think they're doing pretty good.
Okay. Feeling good about the whole outcome and where we're going to go?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite player?
I really like Quinn Hughes.
Oh, that makes two of us. Love Quinn Hughes. Okay, and it rains a lot in Vancouver.
It does.
What's your favorite rainy day activity?
I usually like playing with my brother inside. It's really fun.
Okay, well, you're a very good big sister. There you go. It's time for you to take over the weather, Maya.
Good morning, Vancouver. Happy Friday. Still a chance of a few more showers this morning before the sun comes out. It's 10 degrees out, so hold on to your hats because it's windy out there this morning.
Don't blow away. You're awesome. Thanks again for coming in to be our weather star today, Maya. We look forward to hearing you give the forecast with our friends Nat and Drew on Move 103.5 later this morning. Your child could become the next CTV Your Morning Weather Star and deliver the weather forecast on air. Enter online at ctvvancouver.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. Discover Surrey with a chance to choose from a collection of Surrey signature experiences for you and 3 friends. Choose 4 of 8 locally led and thoughtfully designed adventures and explore, taste, and connect with one of Canada's most diverse cities. Enter online at ctvvancouver.ca or scan the QR code on your screen for a chance to win. Good luck. Like Maya said, winds are picking up. We're shaking off some showers. Still a slight risk, especially around those North Shore mountains, around Maple Ridge as well. But the sunshine is going to appear before this next big weather maker moves in on our Saturday. So it's going to be a soaker tomorrow. So let's enjoy the breaks this afternoon. We're already in some nice temperatures right now, a lot warmer than we have been. 11 degrees for Kelowna, 3 for Williams Lake. We're at 10 degrees right now in Vancouver. Very seasonal fall-like day. We broke a record in 1974 at 18 degrees. So heading to a high of 13 by the water. A little bit warmer inland today, but I'm going to enjoy a little bit of sunshine at least. Clean up all those leaves, put your patio furniture away because this is a rainmaker. Up to 20 to 40 millimeters of rainfall expected with the storm system moving in. Still going to be seeing some of that rain on and off on Sunday. So yes, it is going to be a rainy day weekend. 13 degrees for Campbell River and Comox for daytime highs today. We've got those clouds moving out of the way. A little bit more socked in there in Nanaimo with a high of 15 degrees, 14 for Port Alberni today. We're expecting showers for Whistler, just a chance for Squamish, a chance for the Sunshine Coast, but otherwise a little bit more overcast than we'll be seeing here around the lower mainland. So enjoy the sunshine. It won't last long. Get ready for a soaker Saturday and Sunday. Monday we'll see the sun again under a mix of sun and cloud before another low pressure system moves in on us. Carrie?
All right. Thanks, Stephanie. Well, a principal at a school in Buffalo, New York, thought she was just coming in for another day of work, but ended up getting the surprise of a lifetime, her own wedding. Here's ABC's Danny New.
A surprise wedding where an entire school was in on it, except for the principal.
I'm still shocked. It was so special.
Brianna Lenoy here is the principal at the Buffalo Academy of Science.
If she could invite every kid to her wedding, she totally would. So, shh.
And a few days before her wedding ceremony this past weekend, her assistant principal, Courtney, made Brianna's real wedding wish come true.
I had talked to actually my amazing assistant principal about how I'd love to be with our students, have this massive wedding. She's like, you can't do that.
Turns out you can with a really good secret wedding planner.
We all love you so much that we're giving you a surprise wedding.
The day started with Brianna receiving the big news and then immediately putting together why she saw so many students in dresses.
Oh, I literally told 3 girls, I said, oh my God, can I wear that for my wedding?
She then changed into her wedding gown for the day and walked down the aisle. Hundreds of students cheered for their principal as she made her way toward her groom, Zach.
I will never forget the difference you have
made in my life.
At the altar, the students helped give speeches.
It's only fair to give you some marriage advice. So here it is. Always celebrate the small wins.
A little marriage advice.
Do you, Miss Linoy, promise to love Zach even on Mondays before coffee? I do.
And even helped out with the vows. From there, it was finally time to exchange candy rings, hug the bride, and get their dance on with the entire school.
It was more than I ever thought that anyone would do for me.
By the way, Brianna's wedding ceremony this past weekend was also held at the school. So this was almost like a dress rehearsal for her, just, with candy rings. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
Candy rings.
So cute.
That's such a kid thing to plan a wedding, to do that.
Yeah. And no kissing, just hugging.
Right. Ew, no kissing.
Yeah.
That's so cute. What a really thoughtful thing to do. It was really special. Looks like that principal really enjoyed it.
I like how they said, if she could invite every kid to her real wedding, she would. So let's do a rehearsal.
That would really add up, though, right? Think of it.
When they screamed when they saw her, that was so precious.
Touching. Very touching. 8:28. Here's the view from Grouse Mountain. Oh, look at this. We got looks like some drops on the lens there, but beautiful. And here's the Okanagan. Wow, a lot of cloud overhead, but still a stunning view of Okanagan Lake. Here now is a look at your top stories. Washington, U.S. President Donald Trump is set to host Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky for talks at the White House today. But Trump is already signaling he's not ready to sell Kyiv a long-range missile system the Ukrainians say they desperately need. Trump recently had shown an openness to selling the long-range Tomahawk cruise missiles to Ukraine, even as Russian President Vladimir Putin warned that such a move would further strain U.S.-Russia relations. But after a recent phone call between Trump and Putin, Trump now seems to be downplaying the prospect.
I did actually say, would you mind if I gave a couple of thousand Tomahawks to your opposition? I did say that to him. I said it just that way. He didn't like the idea. He really didn't like the idea. No, I said it that way. You have to be a little bit lighthearted sometimes, but no, he doesn't want Tomahawk is a vicious weapon. And
today will mark the 4th face-to-face meeting for Trump and Zelensky this year. Trump is also planning to hold face-to-face meeting with Vladimir Putin in Hungary to discuss ways to end the war. The woman accused in a series of violent random stabbings and assaults in downtown Vancouver is back before a judge today. 35-year-old Tamara Hamlin is accused of a string of unprovoked attacks that police say left several people injured and rattled one of Vancouver's busiest neighborhoods. Investigators say 7 people were stabbed or assaulted last Friday morning in Yaletown and along the seawall. Hamlin was arrested over the long weekend and has been charged with 1 count of assault. Her first appearance earlier this week ended with the judge ordering her to remain in custody. Vancouver police say additional charges are possible as more victims come forward. A warning now about dog food. Health officials say an outbreak of salmonella has been traced to a certain brand of dog food and treats. 14 cases have already been reported in BC. Health Canada says the outbreak includes certain Puppy Love and Puppy World treats and food. Besides BC, there have been 14 salmonella cases reported in Alberta, 2 in Ontario, and 1 in the Northwest Territories. Symptoms include chills, nausea, and vomiting. The health agency says people could have caught the virus through contact with a dog, their food and treats, or their waste. A 2-day meeting of justice and public safety ministers at the provincial and federal levels is set to wrap up today. Discussions at the meeting have ranged from bail reform to the role of victims in the criminal justice system. Federal Justice Minister Sean Fraser said this was an opportunity for every province and territory to be represented in wide-ranging discussions. In September, the Liberals introduced a bill targeting hate crimes, and Fraser will be introducing a bill next week imposing tougher bail and sentencing for violent crimes. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is making some bold claims. Poilievre discussed what he calls an RCMP cover-up of Justin Trudeau's scandals on the political YouTube channel Northern Perspective.
many of the scandals of the Trudeau era should have been involved jail time. I mean, Trudeau broke the criminal code when he took a free vacation from someone with whom he had government business. It's just like it's right there in the criminal code. If the RCMP had been doing its job and not covering up for him, then he would have been criminally charged.
Poilievre added that RCMP leadership is, quote, despicable when it comes to enforcing laws against the Liberal government. The RCMP commissioner pushed back on those claims, saying the matter was thoroughly reviewed under the previous government, and he found that no political interference was involved. Well, delays at the Canada Revenue Agency call centres appear to be improving. Senior officials from the CRA say they have surpassed the target for answering more calls from Canadians. This comes after the federal finance minister gave them a 100-day deadline last month to fix the delays. The CRA was hoping to answer at least 70% of calls by mid-October, but surpassed the mark by the start of the month. The agency said with 77% of incoming calls answered between September 29th and October 3rd. Believe it or not, the CRA reported only answering 35% of calls between June 30th and July 4th. Turning now to breaking news. Both sides in the BC-GEU labor dispute are entering non-binding mediation. The announcement coming from the BC-GEU just moments ago. It says veteran mediators Vince Reddy and Amanda Rogers will facilitate the process. BC-GEU members have been on strike for 7 weeks, with wages a major sticking point. The government's current offer is at 5%, while the union's is at 12%. And we have more breaking news to tell you about this morning. Some good news for families in Port Coquitlam. The province has approved a plan to rebuild Hazel Trembath Elementary School. The original building burned to the ground 2 years ago. In a news release, the province says the new school will include 240 seats, 2 kindergarten classrooms, and 8 elementary classrooms. There will also be a neighborhood learning center for future childcare spaces. The total cost is $39 million. Construction is slated to begin in July. Well, plenty of fireworks from the bats of the Toronto Blue Jays last night, and just like that, the American League Championship Series is now tied at 2 games apiece. CTV's Melissa Duggan joins us now from Seattle. Good morning, Melissa. 2 straight wins for Toronto. Tell us about the big win last night and what's on tap for tonight in Seattle.
Yeah, so those Blue Jays just really hitting their stride here in Seattle with those back-to-back wins, really convincing wins, showing the confidence that these players have, even when they're out of town. Of course, they are surrounded by an awful lot of Blue Jays fans here in Seattle, a lot of them making the trip from BC. I've been chatting with a lot of people from Vancouver who are here to cheer on those Blue Jays. If you happen to be watching the game at home, you probably heard those chants of "Go Jays, go" coming from the stands. So we're in some very good company here. What a game, though. We saw our ace pitcher, Max Scherzer, on the mound with a stellar performance coming from him, really putting on that Mad Max persona. And what a moment when we saw Jays manager John Schneider walk up to the mound, check in on the pitcher, and that's when we saw Scherzer say, "Nah, I am not getting out of here." A very confident, gritty response that we got from him. He said, "I'm good, let's go." You couldn't possibly get him off that mound even if you tried. He stuck around for 5 2/3 innings for a great showing. There was some weakness right off the top, though. We did see him get a couple of walks in. We also saw a home run from Mariners Mississauga-born Josh Naylor. He got a home run, but it was in the 3rd inning when we saw the bats activate for those Blue Jays. Andres Jimenez doing the same thing he did the night before, getting a home run in the 3rd inning. That's just his lucky spot, I guess. The Jays adding on the runs after that. We saw Vladdy get a home run as well. Final score 8-2. So this series tied at 2 apiece, making it a 3-game series now. Game 5 going down in Seattle. A nice early start time, 3:08 p.m. I wonder how many people are in Vancouver right now, Carrie, packing up, ready to make the trip here to Seattle to cheer on the Jays.
Oh, wait, okay, there's a game 5. Maybe I will make the trip after all. Okay, so I'm sure you'll see some more Blue Jays fans down there for the game tonight. Melissa, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy the game tonight.
Yes. So game 5 tonight in Seattle, and then back to Canada for game 6 on Sunday. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Melissa. Well, as Halloween approaches, Uber's Nightlife Index is serving up some spooky stats on how Canadians party. So Vancouver ranks 9th among the country's top 10 party cities. However, the most surprising stats cover what happens after the party. Late-night shopaholics are using Uber to order things like a silver caviar serving dish, poker chips, and a bonsai houseplant, because sometimes you just need one. On weekend mornings, the top hangover foods ordered in Canada are coffee, hash browns, and bagels. Well, it's National Pasta Day. Up next, reading some cooking tips to learn how to make a seasonal squash and kale bake. Plus, we are counting down to the Vancouver Fall Home Show. We'll meet the owners of a local construction company known for their cutting-edge designs and custom builds. Stick around.
The magic of bright nights joins Noel Surrey for the ultimate Christmas celebration from November 28th to December 28th. Explore incredible light displays, rides, meet and greets with holiday characters, music, and more. Enter for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets plus food and beverage vouchers. Visit ctvnewsvancouver.ca or scan the QR code on your screen to enter. Good luck.
Well, we are continuing our look ahead to the Vancouver Fall Home Show, where design and inspiration take center stage. This year, Port Coquitlam's Bartle and Gibson showroom is teaming up with husband and wife duo Cindy Dame and James Murphy of Hit Construction, known for their cutting-edge designs and custom builds. They join us this morning to share how their work is being featured. Good morning to you both.
Hey, good morning.
So, James, I'll start with you. Tell us a little bit about Hit Construction and how you guys balance creativity and functionality in your work.
Well, basically, every project that we do starts out with a conversation to understand a client's vision and needs. You know, we approach a house as a complete system, you know, whether it's the plumbing, electrical, your HVAC, your building envelope, the house as a whole. And, you know, for an example, for balancing our innovation and function is we had a house that we had went into recently to do a major renovation where their mechanical room, not even a room, but their area was a large bulky furnace, a hot water heater that was really intrusive in the space. And through innovative design, we were able to add new high efficiency equipment into a much smaller footprint in a closet that blended seamlessly into the home, and the clients loved it. Cindy was brilliant with the layout.
Super cool. So whenever you guys are working together in this aspect, how do you ensure, Cindy, I'll turn to you, that design decisions reflect a deeper purpose beyond aesthetics?
Ooh, well, first, I think for us, we really truly understand the level of investment our clients are making when they choose to renovate or build with us. I am always use the principles of universal design, thinking ahead, multi-generational living, long-term. It ensures that smart choices now, you know, these small investments today in both time, money, and even materials save on major renovations down the road. I personally love to implement things like curbless showers, drawer-based storage, wider doors. I'm also deeply aware of how much our environment plays a role in our well-being. So in particular, how much time we spend indoors. So indoor-outdoor connection has an enormous effect on us. So I'm always strategizing with James on the best natural light filtration wherever possible. That's a lot of the ways that we kind of look at it, or some of the major ways that we look at it.
Absolutely. It sounds like a real collaboration. And in that spirit, you guys collaborate closely with Port Coquitlam's Bartle and Gibson showroom. So how do collaborations like that end up helping the product at the end for the customer?
Well, we find that working with a local rep like Bartle and Gibson, Carmen in the showroom there, she's always ahead with products. She's on the cutting edge with what's new, what's happening in the plumbing industry, which there's a lot of changes, and there's such a wide variety of products available that Carmen is always looking for the newest, the best, and bringing it forward to Cindy, especially now, you know, looking at more of our Canadian manufacturing that's happening, setting up those relationships. Everything we do is relationship driven right from the get-go.
Yeah.
So whether it's with our suppliers, with our clients,
anybody that we deal with, it is focused on relationships first. Absolutely. And that duo between the two of us. I know what I'm looking for. Carmen bounces ideas off of me. We bounce ideas off of James. Bringing it all together to that one table right up front just creates such a beautiful relationship.
Absolutely. Well, it sounds and looks, from the look of your products, like you guys have this formula really figured out well. And I'm excited for people to see more of your work at the upcoming Vancouver Fall Home Show alongside Bartle & Gibson. So thank you so much to both of you for your time with us this morning.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much, and looking forward to seeing everybody at the home show, booth 1312.
Good morning. Welcome back. It is Friday. CTV Weather is brought to you by Craftsman Collision, BC's leader in auto body repair. Winds are picking up. It is going to be quite windy today, and we are looking at a dry afternoon. So there's the bright side. We saw some showers through the overnight. We do have a big weather maker moving in for us for the weekend. So enjoy the sunshine what we can. As far as temperatures, already in the double digits, much more warmer morning today. As you can see, Surrey at 11 degrees, North Vancouver at 12. We're sitting at 9 in West Vancouver and 12 in Chilliwack. Could still see a few spotty showers right around the local mountains out towards the Fraser Valley, but we are in a clearing mode for the rest of the day. But getting very gusty, even Vancouver right now, westerlies at 33 kilometers per hour, gusting to about 45. So that is definitely windy by the water. And here's the breaks that we're going to enjoy. So get out and enjoy it. Friday is dry. Saturday is not. Saturday is wet and windy, as you can see. A lot of downpours expected in through the day, and then it'll be more of an on and off situation as we head into our Sunday. But totals for rainfall could be between 20 and 40 millimeters for Saturday alone. We do have a few showers expected for Kelowna. Even some thunderstorm activity around Cranbrook and Prince Rupert is the potential is there. But nice and sunny for the BC Peace today. For your 5-day forecast, it's going to be a soggy one this weekend. We get a break on Monday before the next system rolls in.
Did you know that today is National Pasta Day to celebrate the iconic food group and really what should be a national holiday? We're joined by chef and cookbook author Charmaine Broughton. Good morning, chef.
Good morning and happy National Pasta Day.
Yes, so exciting. Now you have a delicious recipe for us using pasta, of course. So walk us through your roasted squash and kale pasta bake. Sounds delicious.
Yes, this is a phenomenal pasta bake, and it really just incorporates all of the amazing ingredients and flavors of the season. And of course, the star of the show is the Yaletown pasta artisan. I am using the radiator pasta shape because it's got lots of nooks and crannies, so it really absorbs all of the amazing sauce of this fabulous dish. And then I finish this dish off with a seedy breadcrumb topping. It's absolutely fabulous.
What's your top tip, chef, for preparing pasta, and what makes artisan cuts a bit different?
So the artisan has a rougher texture, so it really absorbs all of the sauce that you pair any of these shapes with. And my top tips really are, you want to make sure that you've got plenty of water to the amount of pasta that you are cooking the pasta in. And the great thing with Yaletown pasta is all of the instructions are right on the side of the box, so you can't go wrong if you follow the step-by-step instructions on the box. You won't go wrong. You want to add a nice hefty pinch of salt to your water, and you will be guaranteed a wonderful final product for anything that you are recreating with these cuts.
Yeah, and you guys were kind enough, for Yaletown Pasta was kind enough as well, to send us all these different artisan pasta cuts. How do you recommend using the different ones? Do you have a go-to recipe for each?
Yes. Okay. So we talked about the little radiators, how I pronounce them, and then there is the mezze rigatoni. So this is it's a little bit, it's got a rigid edge, and it's a bit wider. So this is like a meat sauce magnet. So I suggest with this shape, it pairs perfectly with a meat sauce. And then there is the cavatelli. And these are small. They almost look like little hot dog buns. And I like this shape to add to like a vegetable dish. Maybe you've sauteed up some broccoli or steamed some broccoli. And then there is the orecchiette. And these are like little ears, and they have a concave shape, and they really, what's great about this shape is it really scoops up any sauce that that you pair it with. So it's great in like a soup or a stew. And yeah, again, the beauty of the Yaletown pasta artisan is it's got that rougher texture, really absorbs any sauce. And the other beauty of Yaletown pasta is it's made right here in Canada with premium non-GMO Canadian wheat. And it's, you know, it's all stated right there on the box.
Lovely. Well, Charmaine, I would love to sit here and talk about pasta really all day, but viewers can, of course, find more recipes and information over at yaletownpasta.com. And I want to say thanks so much for your time with us this morning.
My absolute pleasure, and happy National Pasta Day.
Well, still to come, Cosimo's creations. Adam Sawatsky finds out how a senior overcame adversity to realize a remarkable talent. Stick around. Well, imagine getting roasted by the Pope. Okay, so Pope Leo is probably the world's most famous Chicago White Sox fan. I don't know if you could hear it there, but when someone called out, "Go Cubs," during a recent public appearance, he called back. He wasted no time in reminding the fan that the Cubs got knocked out of the playoffs. So if you were wondering, yes, the Pope still is following baseball. Well, imagine going to a hockey game and sitting next to this guy. So this fan regularly dresses as Dallas Stars goalie Jake Ottinger. It's kind of his thing. This clip of him making his way to his seat at a home game versus the Minnesota Wild this week created a bit of a stir online. Some fans are wondering how he even gets into the building when they can't even bring in a large purse to the game. So true. Special access. Well, finally, Adam meets a Coquitlam man who refound his love for painting after overcoming a life of poverty in a country known for its historical artists in this Encore Sawatsky sign-off.
When he happened upon an online video of his hometown in Italy, Cosimo Dracitano couldn't have been more surprised.
I was shocked. I said, that's me.
A picture he recalls being taken when he was 4, but had never seen until now.
We were the poorest of the poor.
Where home was one room shared by 4 people with no electricity or running water.
It was not a happy time for me.
So Cosimo started escaping through art, painting this now faded ship on his wall that he dreamed of sailing away on, a talent his mom recognized.
She took my hands onto her hands and said, "You have magic hands, you can do anything."
But no one could have imagined how magic until after Cosimo left Italy on this real boat, after he created a better life for his family in Canada, and after he retired from his career repairing generators.
15 years ago, I said, I want to paint again.
After decades of nothing, the self-taught artist started painting something every day.
This was the first painting I did, and after that I did more than 100.
Cosimo begins by spending countless hours studying the work of the masters, from Da Vinci to Van Gogh.
I'm fascinated by their works. I just love them.
So, driven by the challenge of reproducing them with exacting detail, Cosimo has achieved his artistic goal of being surrounded by their beauty.
Well, it's excitement. Nothing else I experience in life.
Cosimo is so prolific. His work hangs on every wall of every room in his house and featured on a few ceilings, too.
And I didn't want to part with them. I didn't want to sell them.
The humble painter also didn't want to tell anybody about them until his family and friends finally convinced him to start sharing them with the public. And now Cosimo is opening up his home to visitors, hoping to inspire others.
Keep on going, don't give up. I had nothing, and look what I did.
As for Cosimo's most recent original painting, inspired by that picture of his younger self he found online,
I want to say I love you.
And he would show him how his magic hands would one day make all his dreams come true. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News.
The Sawatsky Sign-Off, brought to you by 1-800-GOT-JUNK. They make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
I just wonder, like, to get up on the ceiling like that and then paint like this.
Insane.
It's beautiful, though. I love painted ceilings.
Yeah.
Could have somebody come paint my ceilings.
Oh, it's just incredible. Yeah, something like that.
I don't know how people do it. I mean, very, very talented. Incredible.
No kidding. Beautiful. Happy Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Stay
dry. Stay dry. Stay dry.
Bye.